Do we want to...
Kim Moretti, what? Do we want to what?
Do we want to, like, explain what we're doing?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. Okay.
All right, so dear baby listener.
I mean, we can do it now. We can do it later. I don't care.
Well, let's do it now since you've brought it up and made it so awkward. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
For it.
Well, so dear baby listener, if you're listening or watching, I'm probably going to put an announcement about this in the feed before this comes out.
Okay.
But if you didn't hear it or you saw like a 2-minute episode, you're like, not worth my time. I get it. I wouldn't listen to that. Oh, my wife. Wait. Oh, we're on video, so you're just going to see a ghost hand bring a margarita.
Oh.
I like that.
Now, where's mine?
I put it in Steve's, he said.
Goodbye, disembodied hand of Mrs. Figgy.
Steve said, now put it in my frame.
Whoa. Oh, it didn't work.
All right, so dear baby listener, if you are listening or watching, if you're watching, you'll be very different because you've never been able to see our faces before, so that should be obvious. If you can't tell the difference in that, you need help. But if you're listening, we're trying something new. So you may have noticed that we have what you might call a relaxed release schedule for episodes.
That's generous.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and that's my fault entirely. Hello, I'll look you in the eyes. I'll get really uncomfortable. So, you may have noticed that like episodes come out slow, and honestly, it's because I and the rest of the people here have lives. Okay, like I'm sorry. No, I mean the episodes take a long time to edit, and sometimes I don't have the time or strength of will to do it to the level that, episodes come slow. So we're trying something new where we are going to be recording a video version of the podcast that we can put on YouTube. So finally, when all of these jabronis keep doing visual gags in an audio podcast, it won't be ridiculous. It'll make a little sense. You'll be able to see our faces and stuff. And then the other part of it is
like when I'm just like, hey, look, the Zack attacks GameCube.
I'm sorry. What Zach held up his orange GameCube, and I don't know what Rob said.
That was just
no. This is the awkward shit I'm talking about. You guys are going to realize how much we talk over each other, and
it's
I have
character.
to separate. See, it's happening right now.
And it's character. That's why I did it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, gosh, this is a terrible PSA. Anyway, we're gonna do. It's not going to be live. There'll still be some edits, like if there's giant awkward pauses or things like that, or we take a break, a pee break, whatever. But it's going to be a lot more live, a lot more in the moment. There's going to be a little bit less editing, which could be really fun. Yeah. And then also you'll notice we will still play audio samples here and there for the episodes that require them, but they're going to be a little bit more on the fly, like I'm going to play them live. So, and that'll also give us the ability to comment on them more directly. Downside is that if you're a nerd, an audio nerd like me, you may have noticed I do we do, and Q does too when he edits episodes, like weave audio in and out and like do creative things with it. It's going to be a little bit less of that. So, hopefully, at the benefit of having at the very least, a more consistent release schedule and or more often release schedule. So, because we love doing it, and we don't like waiting on me to do it for us. So that's where we're at.
And this episode isn't live, but it might be at some point. Well, not this episode specifically.
Right. Yes.
We'll see how that goes.
Great point, Steve. Yeah, that opens up another opportunity, which is that if we, this is all an experiment. We can bail on this and go back to the other format at any time, or do both formats. I mean, there's lots of things we can do. But another benefit of this format is that we all have a history of live streaming. We may live stream episodes. We're not promising that. I've learned not to make any promises because I can't be trusted. But that is a potential other benefit of this new kind of approach. So yeah, bear with us while we experiment and figure things out. The actual format of the show, when we do an episode covering a game, today we're doing a G.O.A.T episode. But when we cover a game, the actual format of like introducing an elevator pitch and then like talking about our experiences and then visuals, audio, blah, 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 all that will be the same. It'll just be live. We're going to do it live, damn it. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I'll edit in the Bill O'Reilly clip there.
Yes, please intersperse the Bill O'Reilly clip.
No. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
This also means that, and I won't get more into the weeds. That's it. Welcome to the new us.
Play the opening.
New us.
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to play the intro music.
Yeah.
Or do you want to banter more first?
I think that's a good open.
Okay.
He's loving this.
He's going crazy. The rest of us can't hear it anymore, though.
Yeah.
Look at him go. I love it when Mrs. Figgy doesn't give him his ADHD meds. This is great.
Man, he's gonna.
And he can't even tell that the rest of us couldn't hear it because he took his headphones off or shook them off.
Yeah, something came unplugged or something.
He's unhinged.
We're doing this live.
That is the appropriate physical response to the theme song.
Yeah, we got
didn't
none
hear
of
it.
that
out
theme
for us
song. Most of the time.
Wait, was it really?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it was
it
really
just looked
good
like you were
watching
having an
dance.
epileptic seizure, like with no music, and we're all just laughing at
It
you.
was like fine, but then you started having your spaz attack, and then that ruined it. So
wait, okay. Hold on. You guys just have to pretend like it sounds good, okay? I need everyone bringing that energy. I led by example. I want everyone convulsing.
I will get dizzy if I do that. I will.
yeah,
Well, you guys need stronger constitutions. That's not my problem.
We're not all built like you, Figgy.
For being like a medical professional, you're out here just trying to give us all TBIs. That's kind of dark.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, a little bit of pain makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. I tell
Q, did you just pull a beer out of nowhere?
What do you mean?
I just saw you
drinking that.
Cube.
What the hell?
So, guys, there's a joke about this in the last episode, briefly. Feel free to make the same joke again if you want. But I've discovered the wonders of virtual reality. Virtual reality is going to get me jacked, is what's happening. So I discovered what I want to do is I want to turn this friendly podcasting group into a fight club, because what I've done is I've found a virtual reality game that lets you box, and it feels like real boxing without the pain or lawsuits or, you know, medical bills. And I'm doing it like almost every day, like 5 days a week. It's great exercise, and we can finally settle it, is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you guys it's called the app, free promotion for Thrill of the Fight is the name of the virtual reality app. And it's terrifying. Like, it feels like you're boxing, and when you lose, you get knocked out. Like, your screen just goes black. Like, it's actually, like, it's pretty immersive, and we can settle it. So all of this stuff about, like, Star Fox or any other or Pikmin, all these controversies, we could take it to the ring and settle it like men. So I'm requiring everyone get a headset and get at least a 6x6 foot empty space in your house or apartment or whatever.
Of course.
And we fight, and we don't do the podcast anymore. We just fight each other. That's what I want.
5 days a week.
What if I already have the
format
ultimate
change.
in exercise equipment?
Oh,
Shit. What if I'm already ready to go?
Yeah, I mean,
Homie just pulled out a shake weight.
Rob's got a power up.
That's like his intimidation fact. As he like walks into the ring, he's just shake waiting. Like, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be intimidated or turned on though.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the
I
thing.
gotta
Is he
say, I think
confuses
that's
you.
a pretty badass way to enter the ring. Just double fist.
Yeah,
You gotta have
exactly.
one in each.
Yeah,
Because you don't want to fight the
we
crazy
won't
guy.
see the shake weights, so you're just gonna be jacking the air.
Boxing gloves. Yeah. So that's my PSA: is everyone should get a VR headset, a mere $400, and then get the which compared to the price of a gym, pretty cheap. And then get this app, clear out some space in your house, like get rid of your bed if you have to, and we'll fight each other.
We can all just
I
write this
have a
off.
Quest 2. And I actually had the
That's
same
what I
original
have. That's what I
back in
do.
the day.
Rob, we can fight each other.
Was to play. I was
can fight
playing
each other.
Beat Saber to exercise, and I
Yes.
had to change out the. I had to buy like a special leather one instead of the foam
'Cause it
one
gets
that it
all
comes with.
nasty.
Because it's nasty as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned that lesson too. It was just basically a peach tree dish.
Yep.
A petri dish on my eyes. Yes, that's. Yeah, that's the one I have, Rob. If you have space, we can fight each other. But
There you go.
honestly, Rob, you're the one I disagree with the least. So I don't want to fight.
No, there was the whole
Okay.
Shadow
I mean,
Colossus
I feel like
episode.
Shadow-
Shadow and
Colossus.
Banjo. You gonna
And
tell me
Banjo,
we're
that's
not
true.
ready
And
to beat my
Banjo.
ass after Banjo?
Yeah, you're right. I'll fight you. I'll beat you up. That's fine.
I'll
Yes.
fight you. You're right.
But yeah, and I actually the unfunny part is I really am doing the boxing most days, and then what I do is I also do like body weight fitness, like pull ups and push ups and such, and then I cool down with Beat Saber. So it's like I look forward to working out. I'd rather be working out than talking to you people right now.
That hurts.
I'm just kidding.
right.
I get it.
Hey,
I'm kidding. No, I love talking to you.
I actually got a funny story that kind of correlates to all this.
Ooh, do tell.
With exercising in video games.
Okay.
So I've heard of this game. What is it called? Ring Fit on the
Yes.
Switch.
Ring Fit Adventure.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys know that one?
I purchased
Yeah.
it and have never actually played it.
Isn't
okay,
that
so
the
I-
original Switch? Like
It's
original?
on
it's
the
on the
original
Switch.
Switch.
It was a Wii
Yeah, yeah,
game
yeah.
first, I think, and then they made like a Switch version of it.
So, anyways, it basically comes with like this giant ring, and you put like the
It's a
Joy-Con
Pilates
in it,
ring.
and then you got to like do
It's
shit
basically a
with it or
Wii
something.
steering wheel.
Yeah, but it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a
big.
it's a
It's big as
Pilates
fuck.
ring. Like it's an actual piece of workout equipment.
So, anyways, I saw that on Best Buy, and it was like $30. And like every time I've seen this thing, it's been like pretty decently pricey. But I was like, I don't know, $30 is nothing. Maybe I'll get drunk and play it with friends sometime or something, and it'll be funny.
$30 is nothing.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll do it. So I bought $30. It comes in along with this giant box. It's like
Yeah, it's a big box.
like a shipping container box.
Oh,
And,
Wow.
and it says Best Buy on it. And I'm like, wow, this thing is fucking huge.
Like
I
made of
open it-
wood?
I
Like, is it
opened
like
it up. I
said
opened it up.
fragile on it.
They sent me 7 of them.
What?
They sent me 7
whole
of
pallet.
these Ring Fit things. Immediately I went on the website like, did I fuck up? No, I didn't. They fucked up. But they sent me
the stocks and they just
they
give them the rest.
sent me a whole crate of these fucking things. So I have 7 Ring Fit games with the rings and everything in my house, and I don't know what to do with them.
Steve,
your
how do you
boy.
keep doing this? You have the wildest stories.
I don't know. I could go get the box. I guess we
That's
got the
like a
video
great
now.
prize to give away on your stream.
Right?
Yes.
The thing is they're so big. I don't know where to put them, and I don't want them in my house.
So use
I
them
want
as
to
a
get
prize
rid
on
of them
your stream
as
and then give them
quickly
out
as
to people.
possible. I know, but that involves streaming, and we know I'm not too regular with that. That's going to take like a month. So I don't know. I got like 7 of these things now, and I asked people like, what should I do with them? Some people told me to sell them. Some
Yeah,
people told me to
it's
take
not
them
bad
back and do the right thing.
No.
Hell no.
They'll tell you to keep them more than likely. It's like we don't want them
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for the original Wii, right?
No,
Not
the
for the
Switch.
for the
Oh,
Switch.
it's for the Switch. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Sell that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you could
I was
pop
just-
it on eBay right now and make $45 a copy.
That's
Or
what
give
I
it
was
to-
thinking.
Well, is
Ship
that
it
what
to
people
me,
are
baby.
asking,
I'll
or is that
use
what's
it.
selling?
That's what it's people are asking like 62. It's selling at like 38 to 45.
Okay.
That's more than 30.
Yeah,
more
do that
than
times 6. I'll keep
Right, and then
doing it.
charge them like
That's a lot of
charge them like
Pokemon
15
packs.
bucks for
I know, right?
for
That's what I'm
shipping.
thinking. But I was also thinking, damn, like Too bad this happened with something so fucking big and annoying versus like Pokemon cards.
Why couldn't it have been graphics cards?
Yeah, like something else. Even like Switch games or something where they're smaller, and I just had, I have 6 copies of these now, and I can sell them.
Steve,
But like, it's these giant fucking boxes. There's so many of them. I have no idea what to do with them.
you need to give them to all the members of Goat Games. We all need to get swole through video games.
I already
this
have
is the
one.
Year.
I also
Oh,
have.
do you? Oh, Rob has one too. That is right.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's just more I could sell then.
Well, then just
No.
give them to me and Q. Just
My fiance and I, we played it. We played it a lot when we.
Oh,
first
really? Is it
started
fun?
dating. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun.
Oh, I heard it was like a decent time, so that's why I was like, 30.
Yeah,
bucks,
like
I don't know.
I had
put
an
that on the
apartment.
box.
I had an apartment, and she had a house, and I lived on the second floor. And I was like, I'm not playing a game where you run in place. Like someone's gonna kill me. And I was like, Hey, can I come play this workout game at your house? And she was just like, why? And then I played it. She's like, oh, let me try that. And then it never came back to my apartment. It stayed with her.
Damn. Yeah. So, anyways, I have 7 of these things now, and that's something.
7
Yeah.
too many.
Wow.
Yeah, someone.
Wow.
well, Steve, I never received a Christmas present from you, so it's
That's
not
true.
too late. Just say it
That
was.
is true.
Just,
That is true. That's a good point.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, I can give them away. I could sell them. Like, I'm not going to keep them. That's for sure.
Trade 'em
I don't
for
want them in
Mewtwo's.
my house.
Right.
Mewtwo for
Oh, for
Ring Fit.
Mewtwo's. Yeah.
You could wait until the Olympics and then put 5 of them in your front yard to celebrate the Olympics and paint them. You can make a permanent Olympics monument and paint them accordingly and
That's a good
celebrate the great sports of Olympics.
Yes. All of the sports that we love so dearly on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an idea. Coat them in resin and make them into a coffee table.
Ooh.
That's actually a legitimately good idea. I'm not sure it's any cheaper than like making coffee tables and other means though. Wait, no, they're holes, Rob. A big part of
Yeah.
it being a table is to not be a hole. That's like
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
purpose of a
thinking.
table is to
I would
be
dangle
No,
them
I
in
was
the,
saying the
in
whole
the bathroom.
box. Coat the whole box in resin
Oh.
and then make that a
I'll
coffee
take them out of
table.
the box.
Well, that's just a pallet. But yeah, I mean that's a start. Q,
I mean,
what
that's
did you
pretty much
say?
what they sent me.
I would dangle them in the bathroom and make an obstacle course for pissing. That would be fun.
Like bending your pee like in that movie Wanted? Do you
Yeah,
guys
you
remember
could
that?
have like beginner, intermediate, and hard, like different challenges.
Or have
you
them like
open- you-
tied on like a string and like spin them, and you like
Yeah.
try to pee through the thing, but stop while you're like while the ring's
you-
like blocking.
You open the bathroom door, the lights turn on, and like some like start music plays, like, like
Yeah.
and then the timer starts.
Either that or the Saw theme song.
Yeah, or-
I want to play a game. Can
Yeah,
you
the
piss in
door-
the toilet.
the door locks, like closes and locks behind them. They're like trapped in the bathroom.
But yeah, that's. I just wanted to share that little tidbit of a story.
Thank you for sharing,
Yeah.
Steve.
That's delightful.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't do my fucking. I didn't do
Introduction.
the intro. Forgot to say. God dang it! See, I can't
Fuck
fix
it.
this in post.
This is the first weird episode. Let's do it
Let's
now.
let's just roll with it.
Hey-o. It's Figio.
Hey, it's Figio. Let me do a little edit-o and put this at the beginning of the video.
And welcome to Goat Games, where we only play the best games. I'm your host, Alan Newton. Here on Goat Games, we take a look at video games that are considered the greatest of all time and talk about them. Are they great? What makes them great? Or are they just overrated? Let's find out. I should say it normal. Fuck, God.
Well, if it helps any figure, you completely froze during that, and then like all of
Went
the video
10x
just
speed.
sped up.
Well, yeah, but on the other hand, will not freeze in the audio. Like you're like, but it'll freeze in the video. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even think about this. There's so many
It's
complications.
fine.
There
It's
are.
fine.
It's fine. It's gonna be scuffed,
If
and
the
that's
video
okay.
froze, who cares? Yeah, as long as
Yeah.
you can
All
hear
right.
it.
Okay, anyway,
Yeah, just put like a goat on the screen and you'll be fine.
There you go.
yeah. Turn me into a goat. I'm your host, Alan Newton. I'm joined by my fellow hosts, Quentin.
Sup, I'm Q, a.k.a. Rat, and I'm expected to have really snarky intros, I guess.
Yeah, you are. You are. It hurts me when you don't.
I'll tell you what, next
No.
time, I'm going to prepare a whole list, a long eulogy
Eulogy.
of myself.
The worst.
I don't know if that's what a eulogy is.
So, whatever. I'm not going to. Okay, thank you. That's cute. And joined by co-host Rob.
Yeah, I'm Rob. If you ever want, you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SuperCaptainRob. Come by and hang out.
And joined by Steve.
Yep, I'm Steve for Cheese on Twitch, number 4, and I'm live and in video.
Yes, in living color. And I'm joined by co-host Zachary.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out so I don't get fired.
Go.
I don't do much. I just this is it. You know, I hang out in here. Over there, that's where I go to work. Over here, this is where I have fun. I'm in a
Just moves
prison
the
cell.
chair over.
Oh, the commute must be
Move
terrible.
the chair over. You mean turn?
Yeah. He works, and then when he punches out of work, he just turns the chair and just waits for us to record.
And that's his whole life.
Well, I mean,
Every day he just turns around and
Is that
waits
on the
and hopes.
recording? Nope. All right, back to work.
I am growing life. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah,
What
he's
is
got
that?
Incubator.
My
He's got
yellow
a-
box. That is my egg incubator.
Oh,
What are you doing with them?
Mama Zach.
I am I'm trying to hatch some ducks for my pond.
Oh,
Can you tamper with their...
genetic code.
Yeah, like, can you
Like
make
Jurassic
them blue?
Park? Can I make
Yeah, like
them
if
blue?
you soak the eggs in
Teenage
blue
Mutant
dye, will they
Ninja
come out
Ducks?
blue?
No. No, they won't come out blue. But I
Blue
did.
dot mercury.
I have a
Though.
book that I was reading about livestock, and you can inject the egg with a needle, and you can make it blue. Like in the egg. I guess it's not a womb, but I don't know why they do it. I didn't keep reading, but I was like, why would you inject it with blue ink? And then I got distracted.
Wait, so you can turn the duck blue?
I don't think so. I think it's something you do. Like it does something like. Where if you go to like check the egg, it does something. And but I honestly got to this thing and I was like, they inject eggs with ink, and I honestly just got distracted and I haven't gone back to
Whoa.
keep reading the book.
I bet PETA loves that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Peter. Yeah, make ducks blue again. Yes. Like,
yeah.
well, Zach, I now expect a full menagerie of rainbow animals if you don't deliver.
I mean, I'm actually looking up like what do they do?
How to play God?
Right, like how do I play God? Like, am I gonna have to do this the Darwin way, or can I do this the Jurassic Park? What the fuck? Oh my god, you can dye them.
Whoa. The eggs?
What
Wait.
the hell? What? No, this can't be real.
Send
Well,
in chat.
I think you can now put it in chat, and I think we can now see chat.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you want me to share my screen, or you want me to put the link in? Yeah, so check this out. Coloring chick embryos for identification or Easter fun. And like there's all this, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe you just make the egg look cool. No.
Oh my god.
What?
Wowzers!
They look
Now,
like
I
cereal.
Fucked up, dude.
Good lord.
Like I'm gonna assume that when they lose their little baby down and grow in their feathers, like this goes away. But like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like this feels
wacky.
wrong.
I love it.
It
It's like a big box of Skittles.
It feels like some
Yeah.
stuff they would
Cancel
do
us.
to sell baby chicks at like Easter
It's right in
time.
here. It's for Easter. Yeah, it's in here. Like the first
Oh,
thing was
yeah.
like, let's do it for Easter. And like, what? Like this.
Meanwhile,
cannot
they're all
be
having
real.
like liver failure.
Yeah.
Right.
Would Jesus would have wanted this?
Isn't that like kind of a big established kind of sad thing that people will buy
Yeah,
baby
cute, colorful
ducks
animals.
and rabbits for Easter as like
And then
gifts,
they-
and then just like people don't
forget
really know
about
what to
them.
do with them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the whole
Yeah.
abandoning animals thing is a bigger problem, but that's just such a huge mod. Sorry, my camera's going out. That is it'll come back. That is such a huge mod to make to an animal for such a small payoff of
Right.
decorations for Easter. Well, I'll fix my camera.
I just want to know what the heck?
Wow. The more
That
you
is
know.
bananas.
Yeah.
Well, it's ducks, actually, not bananas, but.
Yeah, but I would just for the listeners' own information, we are not selling the ducks. They have a place to go. They're going to live on a giant pond on my farm. I just wanted some ducks. These are not. I'm not dyeing them, and they're not. They're not going to be neglected. They're probably going to be the
these
most
are straight
loved ducks.
ducks, not chickens.
Yeah, I'm doing
Straight,
duck.
pure, uncut duck.
Straight up.
Mallards.
Black tar duck.
One of them is yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, I've got.
Do you still got the
I'll let-
possum?
Yeah, I still have the possum.
Wow.
Maybe she'll
Your
cameo
place is so
sometime.
magical.
Yeah. Yeah, she's super sweet.
with rare exotic species like possum and
Like the most, like the most common critters in the state of Louisiana.
He's the
Possum
Louisiana
and
Snow
duck.
White.
Yeah, but they're inside house. They shouldn't be inside house.
Well, they don't live
every
inside.
morning and a possum dresses him.
I mean, really, what we should have for this recording is an additional camera, which is just a live feed of the
Possum
animals. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like the farm cam.
Yeah.
Dude, just one of these episodes, I'm just gonna reach in my pocket, just hold up like a baby duck, and be like, "Look what I found," and
Yeah.
then refuse to elaborate.
We need to go back and through every episode get every visual gag that still
replay
somehow
'em.
made it in the episode and recreate it in a giant supercut of visual
80s montage.
gags.
80s
A
montage.
montage, yeah. And so that way the listener can reference it, like, which I know there's nothing like cross-referencing things. There's nothing like listening to a podcast into like going to a library to cross-reference things. So they can cross-reference different visual gags when they hear it in the episode. We'll come up with like a Dewey Decimal System of visual gags.
I think it's a good plan.
Yeah. Hey, we should start the premise.
Yes.
Okay. So, dear baby listener, this is a different episode than we typically do. If this is your first episode, maybe you've just found us on YouTube. If you've just found us on YouTube, go check out all the audio media. We will post episodes on YouTube too, the old ones, but this might be the first episode on YouTube, but it's not the first episode we've made. Go check out audio wherever you get your podcasts, so your Spotify's, your Apple Podcasts, etc., for older episodes. But we typically look at individual games. We're doing our own little version of G.O.A.T, G-O-A-T-Y, this year for 2024.
Game of the year.
Oh, game of the year. Sorry, I guess some people don't know what that means. Yes, if you're new to gaming culture, G.O.A.T means game of the year.
What's a video game?
Yeah.
Good point. That's a good point.
So, and ours is a little different. You know, we're not always the most current on every game that gets released all the time because, as I mentioned before, kind of aggressively, we all have, we just talk about the favorite games we've played this year.
Yep.
It's our own personal G.O.A.T. Even if we played Pong for the first time this year, like, that can count. So,
Classic.
it's a classic. Yeah. So we're going to do that. We're going to do our top 3 that we played this year.
Did we want to do
And-
gaming goals for 2025 also?
I was going to do that last, but yes, and then after that, we can do that first.
I kind of feel like the game of the year is the one like people are really going to want to see. So I feel like
Oh yeah.
if it was
We should edge
me,
'em.
I would
Make 'em
make
wait.
that the one you got to wait for.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
funny is I still have my notes from the last time we did this.
Roughly a year ago. Okay, well, let's do that. Okay, so ignore what I just said. First, we're gonna do. Our New Year's gaming resolutions, like what games we want to do or new ways we want to approach games, anything like that. And I'll go first. I'm going to keep mine extremely easy. I'm sure Rob's going to be like, I want to play 3,000 games. I want to play I want 100% 3 games a day every day.
You're going to be shocked at how wrong you are.
But for me, I'm going to set an attainable goal.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep expectations real low for everything that I do. I want to play and beat the game Lies of P. That is my that's the next one on my list. That's not going to be a G.O.A.T. Games game that I want to play and beat. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things since 2 or 3 years ago when it was released, and I just haven't found time to play it. I'm currently doing Alan Wake, which I will hopefully have finished soon. And yeah, I want to do Lies of P. Like Bloodborne, playing Bloodborne for the podcast just made me want more Bloodborne, and Sony seems to enjoy our misery more than profits of money. So we're not getting Bloodborne 2 anytime soon. So Lies of P, I hear, is the next best thing. So that is my goal, is to beat Lies of P this year. Very easy, very simple.
It's a good goal.
We'll go in alphabetical order. Quentin, what is your gaming New Year's resolution?
That's discriminatory.
Yeah, you
Well, we
can't
should
do
have been
that,
born with a
Figgy.
better name, Zach. It's not my problem. Quentin, go ahead.
Okay, Alan.
Yeah, the first. I'm the first in the...
Okay, this year, honestly, I want to get back into playing competitive multiplayer shooters.
Whoa! Like competitively or like
It's a dangerous
against
road
bots?
you're walking down.
Well, not against bots, but I mean, so that used to be my bread and butter. That's all I ever played was competitive multiplayer games. I love it. It's my favorite thing. Shooters, even like games like Ark and stuff, which isn't a shooter, but it's an aggressive multiplayer game. But like Overwatch, CS:GO, things like that. And this
You had a
over
Valorant
this
phase too.
Valorant, yeah, and then there was the one I really got into at the end of last year and early this year was Dark and Darker, which was so much fun. Just a unique, weird game. But ever since the my hand injury, when I couldn't really play games,
The incident.
the incident when my right hand was paralyzed. Ever since that healed, like I still haven't jumped into any kind of multiplayer matchmaking game, and I really miss it. So I don't know why there's this trepidation, or maybe it's just I'm just busy and haven't been motivated enough. But I really want to jump back in. Maybe this. I think the new Marvel Rivals.
I've heard that's
that game
really
looks good as hell.
I was going to ask
So-
if you played that.
I haven't yet, but it looks
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. So I might dip my toes into that, and that's my resolution this year, is to get back into my old MO and be toxic again.
Hell yeah.
I was good. Q, gosh, you beat me to it. I was waiting for you to finish talking so I didn't have to talk over you. But I was going to say, what it sounds like is you're like, I have a resolution for more toxicity in my life. Like, my life has gotten too wholesome. It's
My
too
blood pressure has been way too low this year.
Q, I have some news that'll probably make you so happy.
Okay.
The big rumor is that when the Switch 2 comes out, they're going to port Halo to the Switch 2. And that might give you the
I did see
opportunity
that.
to just work some stuff out on some unsuspecting children.
Phrase that much better, but yeah.
You've got a good point, because no self-respecting Halo player is going to play Halo on the Switch too.
No, but some
So
6-year-olds
I might be
might.
the one to stoop that low to scrape up.
Poor kids who can't get their own system, and they're like, "Look, honey, Halo. This is a fun game."
I gotta admit, it's that when I
Welcome to the
played
jungle,
Pokemon Unite, that was one of
motherfuckers.
my favorite things in Pokemon Unite. Was like you could tell all of the other people were children who'd never played a MOBA before.
Oh
You could
my
just
gosh.
destroy them.
Dude, okay. So
Wasn't that a thing in Fortnite for a while where like the Switch community was segregated, but they could somehow play with PC and like PC players were just hunting children?
So, going back to VR, my new favorite thing in life. If you go, so VR has especially the Oculus, like Zuckerberg trying desperately to make Meta like relevant. Has a bunch of apps where you can be social. I went to some of them, and it is nothing but
no.
squeaky children, like just like squeak.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, you may have to take this out. I was okay. I want for the record to show that I was just curious at what was happening with the the Meta Quest thing, Metaverse thing. I was not seeking this out, but the first app I went to, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll check out the Metaverse. I hear it's a train wreck, and I went into the Metaverse, and it popped up with all of these like games and or like social groups that you could go into that were like popular. I think some of them are community made. I don't know how the metaverse works. No one cares how the metaverse works. And the first one was spin the bottle. And like I was like, and I clicked on it and I went in and it was like, they should not have spin the bottle for things that were like kids can go there. Because I walked in
Oh my god.
and heard a bunch of squeaky voices and they immediately were like, who's the weird grandpa? Because of my avatar? Because of my MetaQuest avatar?
No.
Which, to be clear, I made my MetaQuest avatar. I do this with any time I make an avatar in a game. I made it look as weird and creepy and unsettling as possible. So I walked into the spin the bottle app. There's nothing but squeakers, and they were. I got out, like I left. I was like, oh no, I'm on a watch list now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
So Q, that will be your experience with Halo. It'll be like when I played when I do a spin the bottle app.
Sure, just like that.
Competitive spin the bottle.
We should cover Halo on this series. Maybe
We
that
were
could
going.
be
Wasn't that the next one?
is it the very next one? Because we
I
talked
thought
about
our
doing it
plan
soon.
was Sonic and then Pokemon.
Sonic
We've
and
talked
then
about
Halo.
Halo, but I don't think
Oh,
we'd set
I forgot
a date.
about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about them all. Okay. But I still have not played Halo for long. I played it for 30 minutes at someone's house once when I was 14 or 12 or
Oh,
something.
dude,
so.
that's what got me hooked.
I know. We got a lot
I played
of
it
people
for like
hooked.
30 minutes at some dude's house, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta go get an Xbox.
Yeah. I said that to my parents, and they were like, "No." So, no, I'm just kidding. That's not how it went down. I was very spoiled. They would have got it for me immediately. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, thank you, Quentin. Next up is Rob. What is your New Year's resolution in gaming, Rob?
So, I have a terrible habit of buying a bunch of games that I never play. So I have set for myself a goal, and there's two exceptions to this goal, which is one, games for the podcast don't count, and if I pick up a game to play with friends, that doesn't count. Other than that, I have set I'm only allowed to buy 5 games this year. Which is going to be a big change for me. Other than that,
seriously.
I have to start working on my backlog.
Damn.
Which, you know
Wow,
what? I've started already, and I got to say, it's been awesome.
What have you done so far?
So I
Nice.
started Bug Snacks, which I'd picked up a while
Oh,
back.
that game's fun as fuck, dude.
It's awesome. I genuinely think
Oh, yeah, Rob,
I
you'd
genuinely
vibe
think
with
we
it.
should
It's so
consider
good.
it as a GOAT. It is amazing. But
Oh yeah, I love that. Figgy,
it's-
you'd love that game too.
you actually genuinely
Oh my
would.
god.
It's really fun. But yeah, so I've been working through that, and I don't know, it's kind of exciting because I feel like a lot of the time before, especially when I was streaming, I would be like, well, what do I want to play? Let me go and look at the gaming store and see what's there, you know? And then I just like buy one new thing, even though I already have hundreds of games I've never played.
Right.
So now instead, it's like I'm going through this huge library that I've amassed over the years and being like, you know, I've always wanted to try this one, and I literally bought it already. Maybe I actually play it. But it does mean I'll have to be a lot pickier about the games I actually buy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
do you
Nice.
have any games in the pipeline that you know like that's going to be one of my 5?
I've picked one of my 5, which is Pokemon Legends A to Z. I am definitely playing
Nice.
that. Other than that, I haven't decided for sure on anything yet. So
Now,
Is that-
does any game count? Like, I know you collect. Like, if you were to buy something for your collection, does
It
that
counts,
count as
yeah.
one of the 5? Oh my god, bro! No,
Wow.
no, thank you.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like I've collected so many games that are just they're collecting dust. I'm collecting
I
dust.
mean, I get it, but
collectors.
like, I get it, but like, if the Holy Grails show up, what are you gonna do if like 6 of them show up at one day?
Well, I better have one of my games available.
Oh my lord!
Well, he'll have the same
should
shelf
film
that
this.
he has now, and he seems fine. We all need to stop consuming. This is an anti-consumerism podcast.
Fuck that.
That doesn't make sense. Well, Rob, I think that's a good monk-like aesthetic you've taken.
Calling it
aesthetic-
the year of the
aesthetic aesthetic.
backlog.
Yeah, the year of the backlog.
Actually, I tried to do that during COVID. I tried to go through all my PS4 games in alphabetical order, and I think I got. I mean, I have a ton of PS4 games, and I think I probably got through like 30 of them, and I was just like, no, I can't. I have to stop.
Damn.
Yeah.
But like, I would only give them. I wouldn't play them to completion if they were awful, but I would be like, nope, we have to get at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wowzers. Okay. Steve, what is your
Yeah.
New Year's gaming resolution?
So my gaming resolution this year is I'm trying to kind of like touch up my consoles a bit. You know, like clean them and like refurbish them and, you know,
Nice.
get them all working appropriately. I actually have already sent in my PS4 to get cleaned, and like the disk drive on that, like it randomly like spits discs out, which is like annoying. And like I have a PS5, so like I really don't need it to be working, but like I don't know, it's also something that is nice to have, just like a backup PS4 lying around. And like I know like my GameCube, like the battery on that is like dead, so I got to get that changed too. There's just like a little odds and ends stuff like that.
I can walk you through that though.
I know. I remember you said you have yours, so like
Oh yeah, no, it's
yeah,
easy.
it's like nice and easy or whatever.
No, it's like baby's first console mod, like stupid easy to do.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like stuff like that. I just kind of want to like clean my stuff up a bit, and it's nothing too flashy, but it's something that will help in the long run, I think.
Nice.
So yeah, retro gaming.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
keep that shit up to spec.
Yeah.
Awesome. Zach, what is your New Year's gaming resolution?
Oh, mine's really easy. It's I have to go and make a new character in Elden Ring and go play the DLC because
So
haven't
I
done
was gonna
that.
say he's gonna say play Elden Ring again. So help me God.
I have not
Well, he never
touched the
played the
DLC at
DLC.
all. Yeah, I never
Yeah.
touched the DLC. It came
Oh,
when it
you
came
still
out.
haven't.
Yeah, when it came out, I made a new character, and then life happened, and then we moved into our house, and like I still
raising
haven't
ducks.
I still haven't hooked up my PS5.
Wowzers. That is a noble goal. I might have more to say about that later on in the episode.
The only thing holding me back is I bought a massive TV for my game room, and it showed up broken.
Oh
that
my
is
gosh,
right.
that was tragic. He sent that in a text chain. Oh, that was
Oh, we had it on the wall, and that was when I noticed that it was cracked in the
That
middle.
sucks.
yeah. That's when he noticed it was broken in half.
Yeah.
He hung two halves of the TV and then realized.
But the company
Wait a
was
second.
really, they were really cool about it. They were just like, oh yeah, here's your money back. We don't want that thing shipped back to us. We don't have any more. Good luck.
Oh, well, so you get to keep the old one. So
Yeah, it's still in my game room. I don't know what to do with it.
you should put it in your bathroom. You should put it somewhere where you wouldn't normally have a TV, just like an extra TV.
Bathroom a 75-inch.
A 77-inch
5-inch
TV.
OLED in your bathroom. It's such a flex.
Right, but it doesn't work. Even if you go to turn it on, like it doesn't. The screen doesn't stay on.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so it's a LG and it has something built in, like you can turn it on and you can see like it's starting to boot up, but the screen doesn't work. Like you can see
I thought it
a
just
little
had a
bit of
line
color.
in it.
Honestly, you should still put it in your bathroom because then people
Yeah,
would be like, who's gonna like actually like try to turn it on?
Exactly. No one's going to actually want to watch a TV in the bathroom. It's just a flex. It's just to be like,
Hard
I have
disagree on
enough
that.
money to throw around.
Yeah,
to
no,
put 75
I'm
inch
gonna say
OLEDs.
if I
if there
went
was
to
a
somebody's
77 inch
house, there's
OLED
no
in
way
front
I'm
of the
turning
toilet,
that
I'm
toilet
finding
bathroom on.
Sports Center and I'm setting up shop for at least an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Garbage in and garbage out immediately.
Yeah.
That was a subtle sports jab. Take that,
I know.
sports fans.
Wow.
Just kidding.
You better be careful. We got playoffs coming up this week.
What? That doesn't.
Biggie
affect
doesn't
me.
care. He can't
It
even
does
spell
once we
playoffs.
start talking about it.
You know another reason why I hate football?
Why?
The fucking Super Bowl often falls on my fucking birthday.
Oh, boo
So-
hoo.
Yeah, so no one cares about that I have survived another year and 1 year closer to my demise. Everyone just wants to talk about the fucking Super Bowl. It's annoying.
And a lot of
Anyway,
times it gets played in the city that you live in. So then when you try to go celebrate your birthday, you can't get a reservation anywhere. That's just
Yeah.
against Figgy. I understand it. I don't support you, but I get your point of view.
I support you.
Support you.
Thank you. I knew you would, Rob.
Wow.
We may disagree on banjo, but we agree on sports.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Let's do it. Let's do the
Hell yeah.
resolutions. Or not resolutions. We just did the resolutions.
Wait,
Let's do...
wait, hang on. Were we going to talk about our favorite episodes? Or you want to save that till after?
We did it last time, so let's do it last this time.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah. That's
get
good.
into it. We can go in the same order if we want. Yeah, let's just do that.
I'm gonna
So
go.
I'll go.
Pee pee in the potty first,
Okay, go pee pee.
and then
Cue what I did
Then
is
we
I
can do
got
it.
2 extension cords for my headphones. Mm-hmm. So
I saw you reaching down, and I really thought you were going to hold up a bottle and be like, "What I did is
so
I got
did I.
I was waiting for him to pull up like a handkerchief and do a magic trick. I was waiting for the sleight of hand. I was like, what's happening?
So my headphones now reach to the toilet. So you guys can keep talking. I'll have to pause the podcast when I have to use the toilet so frequently, and I can hear you in my brain while I micturate, which is
I
a
love
fancier
that.
word for pee than urinate. They all just mean pee. And so I can hear you while I make sweet, sweet noise sounds to the toilet. Anyway, go ahead and go to the bathroom. Go. Get out of here.
Cool.
Rob, cut that out.
No, it's definitely staying in.
I guess I'll go get a sip of drink. I guess I'll replenish my drinks. BRB.
It's a nice GameCube.
That's
Did
a
you
nice
see the
GameCube.
jewel on it?
I know. I've seen it in the past.
Oh, wait, what's that?
Wait, does it have
doesn't
the Game Boy player on it?
Hell yeah, dude, it's got the Game Boy
Oh, it
player on
does. Hell yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, dude, the Zack Attack's GameCube, like the limited edition collab, like hell yeah, dude, it's got it all.
Man, I am jealous of that Game Boy player. I've looked into picking them up before. The players themselves are not that bad, but the disc, god damn, that
Oh
thing's
yeah,
expensive.
so
How much is the disc?
oh god, it'll go for $60-$70.
It's more than, I think it's like 80 or 90
it
last
more now?
time I was looking.
Jesus.
I could be remembering wrong, but
So that one came from Japan, but it actually came with the disc. But that GameCube is modified to not have a disc drive. I actually have a mod I'm looking at where I can put the disc drive back in and then like kind of dual boot it.
gotcha.
But I have a ROM for the Game Boy player.
Does that actually work well then?
Hmm?
Because I've bought a couple of clone consoles that are like, they play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, and they always work great on the Game Boy games, and they always work like complete ass on the Game Boy Advance games.
Oh yeah,
So
no. As far
I've
as
always
that
thought,
thing's
like-
concerned,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Like as far as the GameCube's concerned, it's playing it like you had the disc in. Like it
Okay.
doesn't matter because all the disc is basically like it's like a low resource emulator that just boots everything up and reads everything off the cart. But I actually, like, technically with this thing, I could just put a Game Boy Advance emulator on it and play it. But I use the Game Boy player with a Game Boy Advance EverDrive that has all the games on it. So it's like modding and emulating all in one. It's so stupid, but it makes me happy.
Is this that handheld device you got before?
No. It's my GameCube.
Oh,
We're showing off our GameCube.
Yeah, we're showing off our GameCubes.
Oh.
Like, you see, mine is completely tricked out and custom. We've got
And
I got
mine is
everything
normal
from-
and boring, but it does have the
So-
Game Boy player on it too. So
like, obviously, like, everything came from Japan, but it has this little doggy sticker on it that whoever owned it before had, and I was like, no, that stays. And it actually smells like Japan.
It smells like Japan? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like, I've ordered a lot of stuff from Japan, and it, like, their packaging has a unique smell, and it's just like, oh my god, it smells like Japan.
Wow. I don't know. I haven't been. Or ordered enough from a single place to know its smell.
I've ordered a lot from Japan, but my nose is completely shot. So,
I mean, I order more than just video games from Japan. Though I get like a lot of fishing stuff, and
when I was a kid, I took allergy medicine that just destroyed my sense of smell. So I can smell like a little bit, but mostly, yeah, it's mostly gone.
Do you have an issue with taste? Do you like not?
I seem
enjoy
to taste
food?
fine. It's just like smelling.
Huh?
Anosmia.
Wow.
It's a medical word.
Sad.
I'm sure you're familiar.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm sorry, Rob.
It's all good. I've lived with it my whole life. Don't even know what I'm missing out on.
That's true. Sure. No one tell him how good smell is.
depends on what you're smelling, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad smells, like mostly bad smells. So
Yeah, it's got its advantages.
I'm actually jealous.
I mean, I'm seriously sitting in a room. My wife just baked fresh bread an hour ago. So my house smells divine. So
Oh yeah, man. And my fiance over Christmas, she did so many baked goods. Like, I gained like 6 pounds.
yeah, bakers are dangerous.
Yeah. I've got like 5 different sourdough starters over my house. Like, it turns out that's like the gateway to like conspiracy theories and stuff. Like, I'm a little worried.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I guess expound upon that. I suppose. What do you mean?
I mean, like, she's talking about
the gateway to conspiracy.
like she's talking about like poisoned bread and stuff. Like, like all this. I'm just like, oh god, here we go. You're one of those.
Do you
now.
think it's because she's poisoning the bread?
No, I think it's probably because she's spending too much
I
time
can't get
on
the ratio
internet.
right.
Occam's razor says.
I mean, there was that guy who went to jail recently because he went on TikTok and like sprayed a bunch of rat poison on food at the grocery store, right?
Yeah, fucking idiots. Yeah.
Whoa!
As
I missed
a
that.
prank.
I
Yeah.
did not. Well, that's
Good
not
prank.
a prank.
No, it's not.
And TikTok it is. There's all sorts of shit like that on TikTok. Breaking into a house prank.
Oh, I know.
Stealing Kia prank.
Yep.
Stealing. Yeah, I was.
I actually found
like.
I found an account on Instagram that does like when those pranks backfire and like the people that are doing the prank just get the ever living shit beat out of them, and it's so satisfying.
Well, if you guys join my boxing app, you will be able to beat the ever-living shit out of people who prank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I could take on a lion now. Like, now that I've virtually boxed a bunch of pixels, I feel like I could like take on anything. Like, let's get back on topic.
Yes.
But really quick, my wife has a starter for her sourdough. This is not the topic. This is still off topic. She named it Daenerys Targaryen, which is pretty funny.
That's pretty good.
Like that.
That's it. Okay.
Ashley's is named Regina George
Oh, I know something about her.
because it's a bitch.
Oh, that's good. If you're a fan of Regina George, go check out the Big Bad episode of the podcast Big Bad, where we discuss Regina George.
Find out
Little
whether she can
self-promotion.
beat the Thing.
Yeah, find out if she can
sorry,
beat Shao
wait a
Kahn in a
minute.
fight. Have you ever found yourself wondering, can Regina George beat Shao Kahn in a fight? Well, Quentin and I answer, do the work so you don't have to. We answer that question.
Wait. I heard you say the Thing.
Yes.
You froze.
John Carpenter's
Because
the
John
thing.
Carpenter's The Thing
Yes,
versus
that's one of our
Regina.
episodes.
All right, guys, I'm out. I gotta go. But I gotta go listen to this.
Yeah, please do.
I know what I'm listening to the next time I mow my grass. Holy shit!
Yeah. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Okay, Goaties. We'll do the same order. I'll go first because I'm a leader. And you guys are followers. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are my sheep. No, just kidding. Okay. My first. I should have written this down. I had it all up here. I usually write the shit
starting
down.
at 3, right? 3, 2, 1?
Yes,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. So
Yeah.
my least is
Your least what?
His least favorite.
my least favorite of my favorites.
It's just been so long. We should remind the listener what they're hearing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, thank you, Q. So yeah, just a refresher. These are our top 3 favorite games we played this year.
Yes.
So there's no loser really. Like, these are all still like the best we played personally this year. So even though like 3 might be a controversial pick, it's still like the best game I've ever played this year or whatever. So so my number 3 is Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Whoa.
There you go.
Played it to completion. It was. I guess I can just use the things. I don't want to spoil it for all the people here who haven't played, which I think is everyone but me. Q, have you played it at all? Zach said already he has.
Yeah, I haven't played it at all.
Okay.
I have not. I'm replaying Elden Ring, but I don't have the DLC.
My Elden Ring is still in the wrapper.
So I'll give a little soapbox. I don't think this is too spoilery. I'll avoid names and specific locations and spoilers for lore and like specific boss fights and stuff. The final boss fight of Shadow of the Erd Tree is probably the hardest FromSoft boss. I think it's harder than Melania, which is I had my personal record for hardest FromSoft boss before I did this. Like Miranda watched me lose my mind, like just watched me slip into madness, like just like beating my head against the wall, just losing, and then again. Oh, God dang it, my fucking camera. Yeah, so like it was a
I need to find a TV.
but I did beat it. And you know, it's kind of like, oh man, sorry, my camera's shitting the bed. I'll fix it in a bit. Let me finish my little speech. It is, you know, it's controversial whether or not it's actually harder than Melania or any other fight, but I found it very difficult. And the reason it's not number 1, the reason it's a little lower on my still the best games I played this year list, like it's still good. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they kind of undid what some things that Elden Ring did so well, which is I won't get into specifics just to avoid spoilers. It's not really spoilers. It's just Elden Ring was one of the most fun worlds to explore for me. I talked about this on the episode, largely because of the map. Because on the map, if you saw something, you'd be like, I'm going to go to that place. And then you would go there and there'd be something there. And the map is a lot less helpful in this game. There's a lot more verticality to the world. So like you'll see something on the map and you'll be like, oh, that looks neat. And you'll go there and you realize it's like thousands of feet below you or above you or something. And so they kind of sucked out one of the biggest draws of of Elden Ring in this DLC, which is why it's a little lower on the list. The gameplay is still great. The world is still, FromSoft imaginative and interesting. But it is a little lower than the actual Elden Ring, than the base game. So, not everyone agrees. Some people love this DLC, think it's perfect, et cetera, but it is, yeah, that is where I'm at with it. So, okay.
Nice. Wow.
Next up we have Quentin.
Yeah. I was placing bets with my wife, and I thought the DLC was going to be your number 1 rank.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Yeah, deal with it.
Deal with it. Also, just to note, I mentioned it. I'm replaying Elden Ring currently right now, and it really is. It's such a fun game of exploration. I remember thinking that several times where I'm just running around like, man, there's so much to explore. It feels so cool. So It's a great feeling. But for my my third pick, as probably maybe the third best game I've played this year that I really enjoyed, is a big throwback. I've been playing, or I recently finished Knights of the Old Republic, and that has been so much fun. I was actually really shocked at how. What is that game? 2001? It's not 2001. Is it? It's pretty old. It's an old ass game.
It's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I was pretty shocked at the level of like complexity to that game. It's a really, really good RPG. Like the mechanics are really solid.
It's classic BioWare.
The level of choices and how your choices do matter and affect how you can play the game. The different types of builds you can make are pretty extreme. And it was a really, really fun story and fun gameplay. So I played KOTOR, and then I started KOTOR 2, and then I fell off because I just got bored and burnt out on just the old games. But Knights of the Old Republic was super fun. I think that's my third pick. I had a blast playing through it.
Nice.
Fun fact, that was the game that got me to buy an Xbox.
I thought you said Halo was. You just
No,
said Halo was.
no, I'm just saying, like, I need to go buy an Xbox, but I never did. And then Knights of the Old Republic came out, and I was like, oh, this is not coming to PlayStation? Shit. And then I sold my PS2 and got Knights of the Old Republic and the Halo 1.
So this is Act 2. Act 1 was discovery of Xbox and Halo. Act
it was
2
like
was...
it was like, you know, the gateway in. It was like, hey, this isn't scary. We can come in. Like, we can dip our toe in the pool. This is cool. Okay. And then I was like, but I can't afford it, so whatever. And then, you know, Knights of the Old Republic came out, and I was like, I must have this. I need it so fucking bad.
I need to go play that game. I started that game, and at the time I hadn't played any like dice based games, which like, I hadn't played D&D or anything like that. And I don't know, the RPG of it, like the more hard RPG aspects of it made me bounce off of it initially. Now I love that shit, and I need to go back and play it now that I have like a more...
Oh, you'll take to it real quick, especially after being inoculated with like Baldur's Gate. You're like, oh, this is easy peasy. I got it.
Yeah.
And I can say it does hold up for an old ass game. You'll enjoy it.
Star Wars fans love it as like...
It's a shame that
I heard it's
the
good.
remake's in limbo.
Yeah. I mean, as is everything we love. As is every good piece of
No,
media.
I think I've said this before, but once upon a time, I actually applied to work on that game.
Oh, neat.
The studio was the studio was in Austin, and I did a brief interview to do some project management for it, but I obviously didn't get the job, and it got canceled. So,
womp womp. Well, that's cool. That's a cool job you almost had.
They should have hired you as the
that's neat.
project manager. It'd be done by now.
they would have shipped. You know, that's you
Yeah,
guys
that's right.
fucked up. Y'all would have been retired, but nope.
They're shooting themselves. They're shooting themselves. They're regretting that decision to this day. Like, if only we'd hired that guy. Do we still have his resume? They're shooting themselves to this day.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh. Hey, I you know, if you give me a call, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, yeah.
Oh, disclaimer, because we're on video, I'm not snorting anything. I'm blowing my nose. If you guys keep seeing me do this behind my screen, I don't want anyone in the comments saying that Q is sneaking some powder or anything like that.
That explains the tissue. It doesn't explain the really long pinky fingernail.
Or the 500 texts asking to borrow money.
Quentin needs a steady stream of cocaine every 30 seconds to keep engaged with this podcast. Speaking of long fingernail, so y'all, as Rob so wittily did right now, he pointed out that that's a thing for drug dealers or drug users, is having a pinky nail, whatever. My calculus teacher at my community college, I did a year in community college before I went to university. My calculus professor at community college had a long pinky nail. At the time, like, I didn't know what that meant, but now it's like,
Wow.
This dude was just, anyway. Fun fact.
Nice.
Rob, Rob like jostled a memory out of my like gashapon brain of memories that I like. Okay. Q
Rob.
R. Rob, thank you.
All right.
Rob, tell us about your number 3 game of the year pick.
Number 3 game for the year, the Nintendo 64 Classic, Waluigi's Taco Stand. No, I'm kidding. It's not Waluigi's Taco Stand. That is a real card. It's a real card.
Well, that's awesome.
It's a ROM hack, but they put it on a real card.
Repro card.
No, my real pick is Pokemon Coliseum for the Nintendo GameCube.
Rob, that was a double fake out because you said the Nintendo 64 Classic. I knew you were going to fake me out implying Banjo, but then you held up a fake. Then you held up a fake Nintendo game and then N64 game and then pivoted to a GameCube game.
I didn't even think it through that far. I just thought it would be funny to hold up my copy of Waluigi's Taco Stand.
What is it a ROM hack of?
Waluigi.
It's a Mario 64 ROM hack, but you play as Waluigi and you just have to run around and get taco ingredients. It's not very good. I don't recommend it, but
it doesn't sound
the best part of it
but
is
you have it on
the cover.
Yeah.
No, my real pick, Pokemon Coliseum. I love Pokemon. I've been a Pokemon fan for a long time. I've wanted to play this one for a long time, and have held off on picking it up because goddamn is it an expensive game. But it's a really, really cool game. The thing that I think really sets it apart from the mainline Pokemon series is that the mainline Pokemon series, the default format is 1 versus 1. And Pokemon Coliseum, all of the battles are 2v2s. And I think that the 2v2 format just opens up the strategy of Pokemon so much more.
Okay, so thanks to everybody for tuning in.
Oh.
We're going to be playing...
Zach, whatever you're listening to, we can hear it.
Zach, whatever you're listening to is coming through.
Sorry, I thought I had everything muted.
I thought we were being invaded.
I did too.
Yeah, I clicked on a thumbnail for Waluigi's Taco Stand to see what it looked like, and it started playing a video.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so it's, like if you're doing 1v1s in Pokemon, it's basically who can do the most damage the most fast. But when you do 2v2s, there becomes reasons to actually use support moves, to do more interesting strategies. So it opens up the depth of the game in a way that the mainline series just doesn't have. That's actually, I've kind of recently gotten into watching competitive Pokemon, and that is always 2v2 because it has actual really interesting strategy when you do 2v2. Whereas if you do 1v1, it's just not that interesting. I did
not know that about competitive Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it's teams of 2 versus each other typically, or one person controls 2 different Pokemon?
One person controls 2 Pokemon.
Okay,
so yeah.
Gotcha.
So but they're both on the field at the same time.
Right. I gotcha.
So like I just think that the format of this game forcing that, this game also limits the number of battles you can have to a certain extent. So you can't just grind to get good, and you have to actually really kind of learn what you're doing. So it deepens what you need to do to actually beat it. And it pushed the limits of, I mean, in all fairness, my chat had to help me a lot, but it really pushes the limits of what you need to do to actually be good at the game so much more than the core series does. I'd love to see them bring this format back in a future game. I don't know if they will, but I think Pokemon Coliseum just for that earns a spot. I will say they also animated every attack, and some of them look really funny. So that's a bonus point for me as well.
Love that. Cool.
Does the game function in the same way that Pokemon Stadium does, or is it a different type of game?
No, so it's a story-based game. So it's not like Stadium, where Stadium was just the battles.
I thought it was like Stadium.
That's like a really common point of confusion. It's entirely understandable. Coliseum,
because I actually love Stadium.
Yeah,
so I was curious.
Awesome.
Coliseum is an entire story mode. It's kind of like if you had a Pokemon game it's like any of the mainline games, except it's 2v2. Another cool thing, so you play as someone who worked for one of the villain teams. So instead of catching Pokemon in the wild, you have to steal Pokemon from villains who are using them. So all of your Pokemon are Pokemon that you steal from other trainers. And it's set in kind of like the Pokemon version of the American West. It's just a really fun game.
Cool.
And
Wait, so do you throw your Pokeball and you catch someone else's already captured Pokemon?
Yeah, so the game has what it calls shadow Pokemon, where not all Pokemon are shadow Pokemon, but the evil people will usually have one shadow Pokemon. So you're able to catch their shadow Pokemon so that you can free it from the like shadow curse on its heart, and then it just becomes a normal Pokemon. But
show it the power of friendship.
They brought this back for Pokemon Go, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, they have Shadow Pokemon and Pokemon Go.
Yeah, they made 2 of these Coliseum games. So they made this one, and then I haven't started this one yet, but they also made Pokemon Gale of Darkness XD, which is, I guess, like the sequel to it. Yeah, it's an awesome
very
cover.
edgy looking. It's
that game rules, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say that game was released in 2014. That looks like a 2014 game.
No, dude, that's a GameCube game from like 2003.
Yeah. I'm looking to see.
Maybe
I meant
2004.
I meant 2004. Shit, I meant 2004. I meant when I was 14, which was 2004. That's what I meant to say. Rob,
I remember playing Coliseum when I was young. That game was hard as fuck
It's really hard. It genuinely
it's a
is.
hard game, I remember.
So yeah, if you've ever wanted to play like an actual hard Pokemon game, pick it up. It just fucking rocks.
I never bought Gale of Darkness, but I wish I did, because that was like $250 or something crazy like that.
Mine I got a little bit cheaper than that because it was an untested copy, and when it got here, it didn't work. So I sent it off to get resurfaced, and it worked after that, fortunately. But
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 3 pick. I think it's really cool. I would absolutely love to see Game Freak do something like it in the future.
Nice. Okay. All right. So that's Rob. Next up in alphabetical order is Steve. What's your number 3 for Game of the Year?
All right. So number 3 Game of the Year. This could be recency bias because I just beat this like, I don't know, a week or 2 ago. But I'm actually going to put the new Sonic game that came out. Sonic Generations. With Shadow.
By the same... That's the same people who did Sonic Mania, right?
No. I don't think so.
Never mind. Sorry.
No, this is just... I think this is just Team Sega or whatever. But I remember I played Sonic Generations on the PS3 when that came out years ago. And I really did like that one. And this is just it's just like a port essentially of that. But the Shadow story was really cool. The way the Shadow story plays is it kind of plays like the old Sonic adventure games, which is, I know what we're covering. But that's like the way he moves and everything. Like he moves very like from that era of Sonic, because I know Sonic has gone through so many changes. But that was always like my favorite play style. It was like the adventure games, like the way you moved in those games specifically. Sonic Heroes too. I didn't really like Sonic Heroes that much, but like it pretty much had the same movement, speed, and style and everything. But like this game was like awesome because it was like, wow, I'm playing like pretty much like the same play style from like the GameCube era, but like it's on the PS5 now. Like the graphics are insane. Like the way they can the way they did stuff, like the camera angles, and so they can do so much more with like such stronger systems now that it was just like, when you have nothing from the GameCube to the PS5 and all of a sudden they put like a new one on the PS5, it's like, wow, this is quite the upgrade here.
I'm surprised
it was
I haven't
awesome.
heard more about it. It seems like should be making more of a splash. I heard it was good, but like, that's awesome.
I really liked it. Like I said, it could just be recency bias. Honestly, my number 3 pick was like, I don't know, 1 and 2 were like the big ones for me, but 3, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's the most fun I've had with a Sonic game in quite some time.
I didn't know that Sonic like actually put good games out. Like I thought all their games were just like
They're
they
so
memed on
hit
purpose and they were bad.
Yeah,
like
they're so hit and miss.
You say
It's
that
like you
to
never
Sonic
know
06's
And it's
face.
it's more miss than hit.
Yeah, exactly. But like once in a while they'll release a game like this, and I'm just like, oh wow, this is awesome. You know, it's Shadow. He's like an edgelord and everything.
Ultra edgelord.
But like, it's just like, you know, if you can get behind it because like the action sequences and like, you know, the way you move it, you feel like a badass. So like when he's just like looking like running away from like an explosion or something, it's like, fuck yeah, I'm Shadow the Hedgehog.
doesn't
It's
Shadow
fun.
like actually carry a gun?
And
Yeah,
there's a Shadow
but
the
not in
Hedgehog
this
game,
game.
yes, where he
just
does
abandons
guns,
all the
yeah.
Sonic gameplay.
Yeah, no, he doesn't need a
Shooting
gun
people.
in this one. He gets like power, like you
His
power him up.
backstory is so edgy, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
But like you power him up and everything. It's in this game. Like he's got like new powers. He can fly. He summons like this like stingray that he like surfs on. You know, you could like use chaos control, which is like I don't think you could ever use chaos control before. Maybe you could. I don't remember. That always just seemed like a cutscene thing that you would like do.
You could use it in 2-player mode.
Yes,
In Sonic Adventure
and
2.
Sonic Adventure 2.
I don't
yeah, but
think
like,
you could use it in like single-player story mode.
But like this, you like actually like legitimately like stop time and like you know you can like hit jumps easier, or you can like stop like there'll be like a missile running at you or flying at you, and you could stop time and like jump on the missile and like run alongside the missile and keep like hopping from missile to missile. Like it's just like you could do so many things with it. There's like teleporting too you can do with it. It's just fun. It's just like a fun game. It's not very long, but it was enjoyable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a good time.
When you accidentally said missile running towards you, I did picture in Sonic animation like a missile running like Naruto style, the way Sonic runs. Like, running at you. It's like, yeah, that seems on brand for Sonic.
Yeah, yeah, and like the other thing is like you go through because it does keep that that Sonic generation style where you're visiting old games and levels and stuff like that. So like you know you're doing the last level of Sonic Adventure 2 again. But like I said, it's like an HD and there's like explosions and it's just like, whoa, this is just like cool.
Nice. The last
yeah.
level when you fight the lizard, or the last level? Like,
Yeah, so
when
the
you're racing?
lizard guy's in the game.
Oh, nice.
You redo old boss fights too, but he's in it. But it's also like the last level where you're like
Racing?
in space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I gotta play
Yeah.
this game. Fuck.
yeah, it's fun.
God
It's cheap
it,
too.
another
Like it
game I
just
have
came
to
out, but
play.
it's like $40 or something. And you could probably find it cheaper. The
Well,
Sonic
which is
games
$10
always,
more than nothing, as you established earlier.
That's true. The Sonic games always plummet in price too.
It's
so,
kind of a Mario 3D World situation, isn't it? Where like just like
Yeah.
with Mario 3D World, where they then re-released it with Bowser's Fury, it's kind
Yep.
of that same thing, right? Where it's Sonic Generations, but now they added on some Shadow stuff.
I played like half of, I played a big chunk of Sonic Generations. I liked what I played. I just fell off. It was the original
Yeah,
Sonic
Generations was fun
good.
too.
But-
But like this was like the new part of it, and it was
Yeah,
just
with
kind
all
of
that
like
edge lord.
yeah.
I need it.
I platinumed
that-
it,
Hell yeah.
so
What-
I really did like
Incredible.
it. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Zachary, what is your number 3 game of the year?
Oh, my number 3 game of the year is Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, so it is probably the best Mario Party game that has come out on the Switch. Basically, Nintendo listened when people complained, and they were just like, "Here's what you want, leave us alone." So if you're looking for a good Mario Party, it's finally here.
yeah.
What did they change that made it better?
It's just a ton of mini games, more unlockable boards, more characters, and then the best part is you can play online like with a bunch of people now. Like,
Oh, nice. I don't need
'cause,
friends.
like I think it used to be like you could go to like one other console. So like if if my fiance and I wanted to play with you and your wife, that was okay, but they wouldn't let like the four of us just play together on 4 consoles. So but now you can do that.
That's cool.
That That would be we should play that together.
It's really
That'd be a
fun.
good thing to
This group should play Mario Party together. We should be friends outside of the podcast. Quentin, that also dovetails nicely with your resolution. You can become a competitive Mario Party player.
Competitive Mario. Yeah, I'm about
He
to go
said
hard.
competitive
I mean,
shooters.
let me say this.
He did.
Have you ever seen a game as toxic as Mario Party? I don't think so.
Oh, it's never ended well.
Marriages is Mario
I mean,
Party.
if you leave Jackbox streams open to the public, then that'd be about the only thing.
All right, we are back around to me. And I'm going to ask the group. There's 2 contenders for my number 2. I'm going to ask which technicality. Excuse me. Sorry, edit out those burps. I'm going to ask you which technicality is going to rule for me to do number 2.
Okay.
If I replayed a game I've already played, or if I beat a game that I started, I believe, in 2024, but like finished in 2025. You know what?
one did you
Actually,
like
I
better?
take it back. I take it back. Fuck this. No, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want
Listen
to
to
do.
your heart.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna do
think it's-
Bloodborne. I know we covered it on the podcast, and I've beaten it so many times, but I love. Why are you saying ew?
It's fine. Bloodborne's fine.
Bloodborne's amazing. Fuck you.
No, it's just fine. I agree. It's a fine
Fuck you.
game.
Bloodborne rocks.
Bloodborne is incredible. It's an achievement. I love Bloodborne. I love going back to Yharnam every single time. And every time I go, I discover something new. And I platinumed it for the first time this year. I've never platinumed it before.
Nice.
And it felt great to play. And I'm doing Bloodborne. Like, go listen to the Bloodborne episode if you want to hear me glaze it for 3 hours. Like, it's so good. I loved Bloodborne. It's Bloodborne. Bloodborne's great. Bloodborne. Fuck you. Guys, you guys fucking haters. You know what? I let you go on and on about Sonic Generations, reliving your early 2000 edgelord dreams. I didn't say a goddamn word. You can at least support. You can at least. And I listened to Q say I want to beat up kids. And I didn't say a fucking word. So you guys can support me and say that Bloodborne is a fun game.
I love Bloodborne.
It's fine.
I know. Zach and Rob are in my corner. I don't got beef with you today.
No, you
I
speak
said
for me on this
Bloodborne's
thing.
fine.
You knew what you were doing.
I also said it was fine.
I knew what you were doing. You guys are just.
I mean, it's no Pikmin, but
I need to box you. I need to box both of you at the same time. Oh, box.
That's going to be the new tag for Bloodborne. Bloodborne, it's not Pikmin.
Yeah. All right. Fuck you guys. I don't like being here. All right, Quentin, you're up.
wow. I guess sort of along a similar vein as you, Figgy. My number 2 is a really hard toss-up because I didn't play a lot of games this year,
I thought
but
you were
I
gonna
played
say
some really
Bloodborne.
good
I
games.
thought you were going to go through all of that and be like, similar to you, my
Yeah,
number
it's Bloodborne. No, I think honestly, after digging back into it, I think Elden Ring holds my number 2 spot.
Oh.
I'm just like washed over by and just reminded on how unbelievably good that game is. It's just so well made and so immersive and fun, and it truly is a game you can replay 100 times with 100 different builds and different ways to play it, and it's all really fun. And I've been doing kind of some wacky stuff with my current playthrough, and it's great. I think Elden Ring. It was a hard pick, but I think Elden Ring takes my number 2 spot for best game I played this year.
Do you feel like you're steamrolling through it now that you're used to it? Or are you like just kicking ass and taking names?
Yeah. So far, it's been
Yeah.
pretty easy. Partly just because I know what I'm doing. Another part is I'm vaguely familiar with all the areas, so I'm not so hyper focused on exploring every inch. I think I'm just soaking it in more this time. But yeah, like I haven't struggled really much with the bosses just yet. And that I mean, Elden Ring is so unique that wildly varies on what build you're running. Because some builds just don't match up well against some people. But I've changed up my build 3 times so far without respecking, and each one has been so much fun. So like I can't stop wanting to try different things, and yeah.
What was the last boss you beat? How far are you in it? I mean, you can tackle stuff in a lot of different orders, but like just like a vague.
So I just crossed the what's it, like the Lake of Rot, and killed the big rot giant down there in the middle of the lake, and
what?
In the center of that lake, there's a giant like
Dragon?
like a colossal like mech or statue that gets up if you walk out there in the middle of it. Yeah, it's he's there, and then the next boss right after him, which is like the astral looking weird thing in like the purplish. You're like in purple space when you go fight this thing,
or something similar to
yeah. So that's the last thing I just killed. And I started. So my 2 like really fun builds.
I know what you're talking about. The Lake of Rot. Sorry. Yes, I just
underground.
Yes.
Yeah, it's underground.
Yes, underground. I thought you were talking about Caelid, and that's what. Okay.
No,
yes,
not Caelid.
I'm back on board. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I'm
you're
quite
doing
a bit
Ronnie's
past
quest, right?
Caelid.
Isn't that anyway? We don't have to get in the weeds. But.
Yeah, I think it's Ronnie's stuff. But my 2 builds I'm running, which are so fun, is one is like I feel like Charles Bronson, where I'm running the iron balls, just double fisting these big, basically bowling balls on my hands, and you go in and just start punching the fuck out of everything, and
Hell
just
yeah.
punch, and it has so much what do you call it, like knockdown damage, where it
stagger or whatever.
Stagger, yeah. And then I also have the great. It's so hard not to go big bonk. Like I just want to bonk everything, so I'm also running the great sword, and it's so good. So that's my number 2.
If you get the DLC, they finally let you go full, like unarmed. So there's like a weapon you can equip that makes you into like the Karate Kid, and like you can like do like kung fu if you like punching things. You want to go like more like Zen kung fu as opposed to big brawler. You can like do that now in DLC.
That's great.
God,
Okay, Rob, what's your number 2?
Whew, okay, I also have a really tough toss-up, and okay, so I had part of my thing. I'm a little worried that one of my picks might be one that you, Figgy, or you, Zach, would have played. I don't think Steve or Q would have played them. And if it's yours,
that's okay.
I want to beat you to it. Let me ask a question. Did either of you pick a horror game that came out in 2024? No. Okay. All right.
I had one that was close. I had one that was like that. I have one that's an honorable mention, but
okay. I'm going to save that for my number 1. I'm going to make my number 2. I talked about this game a little bit on, I think, the Banjo episode, maybe. Penny's Big Breakaway is a platformer that came out this year.
Oh, yeah.
This one actually was released by the Sonic Mania team, so you kind of called that one a little figgy.
I did. That's what I meant. I was just predicting the future. Like, that's so Raven. I was just
exactly
looking ahead. And that's what I was meant to say.
But it just really rocks. I think it has the coolest, best platforming mechanics of any game that I've ever played. I think the art design is all really fun. The plot it's not like super deep or anything, but it's a fun time. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you like platformers at all,
this looks adorable.
It's really cute, and like the mechanics of it, I can't talk good enough about how fucking good the mechanics are, because you have this yo-yo that you use, and you can do things like jump on the yo-yo and ride it around like a motorcycle, and you can jump off of it and like spin it around you like a helicopter, and then you can grapple onto something and swing over it, and if you get good enough, you can do the whole level in a single combo of moves. And I'm not that good, but it still is just really fun. And I think if you like platforming and are interested in games that are pushing the limits of what a platformer can do, I just can't recommend it highly enough. So,
can I say something?
Yes.
About me, not about anything you just said, Rob. Well, first of all, I do. I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna send this in the chat, just because I can remember Penny's big. Is it available on Switch?
Yes.
Yes.
The Switch version is what I played. I did run into one or two glitches on it. From my understanding, the PC version is a little better. None of them ruined the game for me in any way, but.
Okay. Because I'm gonna check that out. I do love me some platforming, as evidenced by the Banjo episode.
It.
I remember it looking fun when they revealed it, and I was like, oh, that could be cute.
Y'all
fun.
pick games that I wouldn't touch in a billion years. I'm looking at this. I'm like, I would never think to play this.
When I saw the art style, it did not draw me in. If I play it, it'll be purely based on Rob's recommendation.
I remember seeing like the gameplay video, and I remember it being like what Rob was describing. Like, oh, damn,
It
you
sounds
can, like,
really cool.
move around with this thing. It looks like.
Yeah. To me, it like I think the fact that the Sonic Mania team made it, to me, speaks to what it really accomplishes, which is it does a really good job of letting you get this feeling of momentum as you move through the levels. So it's a 3D platformer where you actually, if you want, you don't have to go super fast, but if you want, you can get rolling, you know?
Rob, when you said the word yo-yo, it reminded me. I totally forgot. I played Animal Well this year. I just want to say my number 2 is also Animal Well.
That is a really good game.
Classic Figgy move. Can't just pick one.
He's got 2 number 2s now. Interesting.
Yeah. No one else gets another number 2, just me.
So technically, that booted Elden Ring out for Figgy.
Well, honestly, I'd probably boot out, but we're not going to get into
How does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that works.
Fuck off. Okay, Steve, you're next.
Okay, so my number 2 is Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Oh.
Yeah, right? Anime, look at me. But no, I actually, this whole year, I've actually really been into the Final Fantasy VII. I feel like this year, 2024, has been the year Final Fantasy VII for me. Because at the beginning of the year, I started out playing Crisis Core, the remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it, on the PS5. And then I beat that game, and then I had like about a month before Rebirth came out, and I was like, oh, I wonder how far I can get in Remake again, Part 1. Just, because they kind of all bleed into each other. And I started it, and like, I beat it before, so I just want to say that. But like, I started it, and I blew through the game real quick, and then like Rebirth came out like 2 days later, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's just go. So I bought Rebirth for full price, and I loved that game. That game was way better than the other 2. And I really liked the other 2. But the story is just so good. I played the original too. I've played the original maybe 3 years ago. It was somewhat recently. So, it's still kind of all fresh in my mind, but I did play the original, so I really kind of know the story. Now I know like the Rebirth and the remake and everything, they kind of veer away from the normal story, which I kind of like though, because it's like, you don't know what's happening. Like,
exactly.
It's a sense of familiarity while also just being like, you don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know. It keeps you on your toes. And it's really cool. It's a really cool way to experience the games. I'm not gonna say what part because I don't. It's spoilers, but it's also like spoilers for like a 30-year-old game. But like there was one part in this game that like happens in the original, so like I knew this was all like a thing. But like the way they like were able to like flesh it out in like Rebirth, like was actually like legitimately like emotional for me. I was like on the verge of like choking up, like, oh my God, the way they are doing this with the music and the way it looks and the voice acting, everything, it's really, really, really good. It's really good. So it was just like, wow, this is like, it's amazing. It's an amazing game. The open world is incredible. I'm really excited for part 3 whenever that comes
so
out.
Stoked about part 3, man.
I hope it comes out soon. I want it on PS5 because then I'll have all of them on PS5. But who knows? It might be in PS6. But yeah, it's really good. It's really fun. Steve for anime, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, Rebirth. I loved it.
Hell yeah.
Very
Hell
good
yeah.
game.
One down,
Nice.
one to go.
To that end, Zach, what's your number 2?
Yeah, my number 2 is Helldivers 2.
Oh my! I'm just surprised that's not your number
hell
1.
yeah.
You lost a chunk of your life to that
Nice.
game.
Oh yeah, no. It probably would have been my number 1 if the developers didn't kind of break it and then slowly bring it back. But yeah, for a hot minute there, like that's all I wanted to do. You know, it's just a lot of fun. The game's in a pretty decent state, but it hasn't really brought me back like it did when it first came out. But I thought it was worth the mention. I platinumed the game. I have over 200 hours in it. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's more fun with friends. I don't play with strangers anymore. Like I would only play if like a friend's like, "Hey, let's play," and I'm happen to be free. But yeah, you know, it's for what it cost. I put no real money into it beyond the price of admission, and I've unlocked most of the stuff in the game just playing it. But yeah, you know, a lot of fun. In my opinion, more fun with friends.
Nice.
I bought that game in October and I played it for like 3 weeks, and then I got busy, and then I replayed it like maybe a month ago, and I've been playing a lot since. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
The
should
latest,
get-
the latest updates really just kind of brought back the whole like power fantasy. Like they tried to steer away from it for a hot minute, and then the game basically died, and they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta go back. We gotta go fix some stuff." And now it's as healthy as it ever was.
Nice.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
I'll,
it's
maybe I'll
fun.
pick it up.
Nice.
It's a fun game. It's
Yeah.
I feel like it's not everybody's cup of tea, but
Yeah. No,
Well,
like
I've seen clips. I love the humor. I love
It's
the
a
starship.
really
oh yeah,
fun
it's
game.
very fun, and it's very funny. Like especially like when shit hits the fan and you're freaking out, and you're like, oh shit, I can't call in my stratagems because I don't know what to do, and then you're dead. And you know, it's funny.
That
For
game
me,
is.
it's
Go ahead.
I was just say for me, it's a fun game to put on at like 10:30 at night, like before I'm falling asleep, and it's just like a game to just like put on and just kind of like chill out to.
Nice.
I know it's like
Seems like a very
explosions.
What
chill
difficulty are you playing on? Because I'm playing on the hardest one, and I'm not relaxing at all. I'm
Well, I'm
locked
not
in.
playing on the hardest one. I'm not playing on the hardest one. I'm playing on.
Like I'm locked in with a cigarette out
many-
the corner
how many-
of my
how
mouth,
many-
thinking we got to do this or nobody's coming home. Like
How
what
many
the fuck?
difficulties are there? 9?
Oh no, I think it's up to what is it now? 10 or 11 now.
It's 11? Well, I'm playing on like 6.
It's fun though.
It's like hard. I'm playing on hard, I think it's called.
Gotcha.
Well, that game is lumped in. That game specifically is lumped in with my resolution this year to play more. It's not competitive; it's PvE,
No.
but it is a shooter, and
It can get
that's another
competitive.
one like I really want to get into because it
How many
looks
people can play
so
it at
good.
once?
4.
Oh. Rob, you're not invited. The rest of us should get a squad together to play.
Is Marvel Rivals 5v5? Because that one you could
That's
probably
6.
talk me into.
6.
We gotta
I'm
find
very excited to dig
We gotta
into
find
it.
a
I've
wacky.
played Marvel Rivals. It's pretty fun. I haven't played too much of it, but you know what? I found one character I like, and that's about it. I played the Punisher and the Punisher only, and as soon as somebody else is the Punisher, I'm kind of like, I don't want to play this. So,
Oh,
This sounds like an 8-year-old, like, hey, she picked my
I
character.
know. You know what? But when you're a 30-year-old man and you're just like, you know what? I don't have time for video games all the time, and I just want to do one thing with one character. It's kind of like, okay, well, now I have to play. And then I start picking other characters, and I go out there and I die. I'm like, okay, this one sucks. I go change a new one. And you know what the problem is there's so many characters, which is like a good and bad thing. But there's so many characters, so it's just like I don't know what everybody does. You know, you're just like trying things. I feel like once you play it more and get like experience with each of the characters and know what they do and everything, it'll be easier. But I know when Overwatch came out, there weren't like 35 fucking characters right off the rip.
Yeah.
that you had to learn. So now it's like you got to learn 35 characters like right off the rip. And
do they have a random
it's like-
character mode? Because I remember Overwatch had that, and that was like my favorite mode to play.
I
but it
honestly
also
don't know.
taught you how to play them all.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it enough. I'm only like level 6 or 7 or something. But it is fun.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well,
That's not the
should
game
continue-
nobody picked, but yeah.
you know what's another good game for 5 people? And Quentin's gonna hate that I say it. Is Dead by
Russian
Daylight.
roulette.
Yes! I love Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, because like you
Not good at it, but I love
You can
it.
do what's called kill your friends, or one of us is the killer and the other 4 are the survivors. There's so many games we could play together. Anyway, okay, it's back to me, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
This is your number 1.
Yes, my number 1. Drum roll. Is also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That game is a
I think you said Final
triumph.
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Hell
that
yeah.
game is a triumph. That game is amazing. It is, And you know what, Steve? I'm glad you said it first for your number 2, because we've talked about this in our private chat, you and I.
Yeah.
But it's so good to hear that it's effective for people that have little to no nostalgia for any Final Fantasy. Because for me, that's a huge. It's like, is this game actually good, or am I just, is it just nostalgia?
Yeah.
Like, is it because I loved Final Fantasy VII. I kind of lived through like the golden age of Squaresoft or whatever. Like, 7 through 10, all of them, just immense amounts of nostalgia for. And I played, and I liked Final Fantasy VII Remake, but Rebirth just takes everything up to another level.
Yeah.
And, if you read interviews with the development team, it shows there, but it also just shows through the game that just this game really seems to have been made by people who love Final Fantasy or love Final Fantasy VII and really want to both respect and revamp the legacy of Final Fantasy VII. It's not a perfect game. Like, there's like, you could argue like, oh, the mini games, there's too much like
mini
collective.
games are a bit much and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but the original Final Fantasy VII had mini games, and you can't. They are optional. But if you are going into it to like, God, heaven help you for trying to platinum it, because it gets super hard if you try to platinum it. Like it's
I couldn't do it. It's too hard.
But it's just like, like it's funny. Sometimes it's a little corny in the way that like those old Final Fantasy VII those old Final Fantasy games sometimes were, where it's like a little corny, but you love it for that. Sometimes it makes you, like choke up, like Steve said. I didn't know Steve could feel emotions. And so it's firing on every cylinder. The combat system is great.
Yeah.
It's not as like, and I played it on medium mode. I didn't play it on ultra hard mode. From what I understand, hard mode is legitimately hard. People said medium was hard. I beat the final boss my first try. I guess not to. Well,
I did too. I did too. I remember.
People struggle with that boss. The final phase of that boss. People say like it's like, oh, it's bullshit. I can't. But I don't know. But whatever.
I beat it first try too, because I know there's like a move he does where he's like spinning or something.
Yes, where like basically it's like an insta kill, and I just like, didn't get hit. It's like, just don't get hit, guys. It's not.
Yeah, I didn't have issues with it either.
Yeah.
You know what? I had issues getting to that part though.
Yes,
it was hard as fuck, and then like you got to the final boss, I beat him first try.
Yes, the final boss is like it's a gauntlet, and that gauntlet is hard. But then the final boss, a lot of people have struggle with. And anyway, I'm getting a little bit in the weeds here on the specifics, but yeah, it is fun, it is emotional, it is pretty, it is mechanically sound and great and tight, and it is nostalgic as hell if you've played any of the original. And as Steve pointed out, even if you haven't, it still holds up. And so highly recommend Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You need to play Remake first, so you are committing to 100 hours of gaming if you do it. But it is a very satisfying experience.
And I would suggest even playing Crisis Core 2.
I have not played Crisis Core. That's the one
with
that's
Zach.
the one with like Angel and
Zach,
Angel and what's his name?
Yeah, I have my own video game. It's great.
Yeah.
That game's great. The characters, the way they flesh them out is so good too. The characters are all enjoyable. The music's great too. Back to the boss fight though. I remember I beat the boss, finally. And like I said, I have issues on the last one, but getting there. But I remember I was watching some guy on YouTube try to do it, and this guy was like sweaty as hell, just knows what he's doing, like just all max buffs to make him strong and everything. And I was watching him fly through this boss gauntlet, and I was getting like pissed off because I was just like, fuck you for like first trying all these guys right off the bat, just getting so sweaty and into it. And I was just like, oh my God. And then he finally died on the last boss, and I was like, yeah, I'm better than you, buddy.
Steve, if you don't mind me asking, did you have a core team that you typically like a core three that you played with the most?
Yeah, so when I played with in the original, I used Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa, and that's what I stuck with in Remake, and that's what I stuck with in Rebirth.
Okay, yeah. I did Cloud, Tifa, Aerith. I did.
Yeah.
I did. I kept the love triangle very, very up front and center with my playthrough.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's an awesome game. And the characters are all different. Like the combat styles are all fun. They're all fun. All the characters. And I love the way, I'm sorry, I'm stealing your spotlight.
No, go ahead.
But I love the way they force you to use characters too.
Except Kate Sith, but yes.
Yeah, Kate Sith can go fuck himself. But other than that, because it really, in the original, you kind of just party of three, locked in, whatever, just sticking and rolling with these guys forever. But in this, they actually make you use other characters, and they make them feel important and part of the group and everything, which is cool.
And it works. Gosh, I could do an episode on this game. We could do an episode.
I could too.
But what's cool about it is not only does it force you to use them mechanically, so you're seeing okay, I don't really play Red 13, but now I have to. How does he work? It also allows all these moments for the characters' personalities to interact with the story going on. So it's okay, I never really thought about what Red 13 and Tifa are like together, but here they are. Anyway, it's just a well done game, top to bottom.
Very well done.
Highly recommend. Remake was good, but not as good. Rebirth, amped up Remake and it really is just a ramping upward. I mean they've set the bar so high for the final one. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, it's how is the third one going to be better?
Who knows?
That's my concern. But it's I'm excited. I'm really excited for that whenever it comes out. I know they said they're not doing DLC for Rebirth because they just want to finish 3 as quickly as possible.
Which is a great decision. That's a perfect decision. Yes, please. Yeah. Yes. All right, I gushed for me and Steve kind of had our own private conversation.
Sorry, we were talking about anime, guys. Okay, you guys wouldn't understand.
Listen, Rob and I, we're just watching our little flower blossom.
Yeah. All right, Quentin, tell us your number 3 or your number 1. I'm sorry. And I'm going to step away for a little bit. I can hear you though.
Oh, you're not going to pee while I talk, are you?
I'm not going to say what I'm doing.
He's going to poop while you talk.
He's either peeing or shitting. So
go void.
if you're lucky, I'm peeing. So.
Bombs away.
All right, cool.
I'll add some pissing audio in on the video during.
You better. You better.
It's just knowing that he can hear me right now, but I can't see him is making this so. It's just hitting different.
Considering he's listening to your voice with his hands on his
probably in the bathroom
what,
giggling right now.
Oh my gosh.
That's right, Piggy. Your hand's on your dick, and we're talking about your hand being on your dick, big dog.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. So my number 1, man, it's weird. It's weird knowing this that he hears me. Probably Bloodborne. Probably the best game. I wish that Alan was here so he could interject. But I've never played a better game. So that's my...
He's running back!
No. Honestly, I thought about it for a while, and there's really no contest. My number 1 pick is still going to hold strong with Baldur's Gate 3. Every time I think about that game, there has been no game that's completely enveloped my mind, body, and soul, and done to me what that game has done. So Baldur's Gate 3 still holds the most special place in my heart. It's a crowning achievement for decades to come, most likely. It really is a spectacular experience. And if I just hear just the inkling of any of the soundtracks from that game, it just takes me right back in. I'm right there, like all these memories wash over me, and I'm like back in it. So BG3 is my number one pick.
It's a great pick. That game rocks so hard.
I want to say two things. First of all, y'all's commentary was great. I was giggling in there, and everything.
Did you miss the toilet at all?
No. I'm pleased. I'm a pro.
Good.
But
Iron grip.
Quentin, that was going to be my number. That was the thing I was vacillating between Bloodborne and that for number 2. But I could honestly not remember when I beat Baldur's Gate, and I couldn't remember if I said it last year. So I didn't want to be out here with my ass out looking like an idiot saying the same game for game of the year 2 years in a row.
You did say it last year.
I did say it last year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait, I said this last year, didn't I? So I was like, no, I'm just going to do Bloodborne. So I'm glad it got mentioned again. Because Q kept playing also longer, too. He kept doing... Well, Q went the deepest, as he often does. He did like multiple playthroughs, stuff.
Well, that was
and
my
he did mods and stuff.
that was my recovery game. While my hand was paralyzed, I had my mouse on my left hand and played the whole thing. So that was, early to mid this year when I really, really went deep into the paint.
Right. I'm glad it got mentioned because I almost said it again, but I was like, no, I think I said that last year. I can't say it
I
again.
thought about making it my number 3. It is really good.
Yeah. Okay, Rob, what's your number 1?
All right, so yeah, this is a game I was so impressed by, especially because my expectations for this game were in the shitter. This is a remake of one of my favorite games, and for the entire not Banjo-Kazooie for the entire time ever since the remake has been announced, I've been like, this thing's gonna fucking suck. Every time someone had asked me about it, I'd be like, this game's gonna be ass. There's no way it's gonna be good.
I know what it is.
Silent Hill 2 remake fucking rocks so hard.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Rob, you want to know something funny? that was my honorable mention.
Yeah, I figured when you said honorable mention, that was going to be it. Yeah, it's such a testament to, I mean, like, it's clearly made with love and reverence for the first game. But it also, like, I've played the first game to death, and like, it's not, to me, it's not scary anymore. The mechanics of it are clunky. It's got some funky shit in it. The labyrinth section sucks ass. But I still love that game. But like Silent Hill 2 remake, God damn, is it scary sometimes? Not all the time, but a lot of the times it's really fucking scary. It's also, just like Resident Evil 2 remake, it is a testament to the fact that you don't have to have shitty ass tank controls for a game to be effectively scary. So it's like scary, but also has actual fun mechanics to play. I think it does an amazing job of retelling the story from the first game. All of the cutscenes and voice acting, I think, are phenomenal. It just knocks it out of the park. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Silent Hill 2 remake for me. If you haven't played it yet and you like Silent Hill at all, I can't recommend it highly enough. It just rocks.
Sweet.
I have it. It's in the wrapper still.
The Steve classic. It's in the wrapper still.
I just got it at Black Friday though. Okay, so I've only had it for
We
2
need
months.
to sell hats that have your face and it just says it's in the wrapper still.
It's in the wrapper.
Or just your face in a wrapper. Like,
There you go.
Just put his face on a condom.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I better get some royalties for that one.
But yeah.
That game came out and there was so much hype around it, and I feel like I heard so little about it. I feel like people.
It was because everybody, like myself included, we all thought there's no way this is going to be good. they showed the first trailer and it looked like straight fucking cheeks. Like it was like you're treating Silent Hill 2 like this, and then like blooper, to their credit, they were like, "Oh, you're pissed? Hang on, let's go throw this back in the oven."
Yeah, like genuinely, they pulled it off. Getting to explore the town is really fun. I mean, it still is like fairly, it's not that much more explorable than the original was, but it still feels like there's more to look around and find. I think the mechanical changes to it just really up the terror of it. Like some of the parts of the Toluca prison segment, like goddamn, I was shitting myself. That in like the original, because it's like a top-down game, they can't do things like play with enemies that are on the ceiling or all of this kind of stuff. And just, being able to have it in 3D, it feels so great to play, but it also like, you'll be there like, oh God, I don't want to go through there. I don't want to do that, but I know I have to. The labyrinth section does still suck, but other than that, amazing game.
My only exposure to Silent Hill was when I played it on stream, per Rob's suggestion. And I got a ROM hack because it's really hard to play the original. Like, the Konami.
It's like $200.
Yeah,
PS2.
getting the originals, like buying it in physical media is expensive. And then Konami's done nothing to make it the original PS1 version available. Like I would happily buy it or whatever. But so I had to get a ROM hack of it.
Oh, you should have let me know. Like I have a physical copy. I would have lent you.
Well, this is years ago at this point. Gosh, don't think about how much time it's been. But I got a janky thing from the internet, and I got one where there was no music in it, and I was like, wow,
that would actually be kind of
a shame because the music is so good in it.
Well, I didn't realize, Rob, you mentioned this like after I beat the final boss in chat. I was like, man, what an interesting game, and what a powerful choice to not have music. You were like, what? No, there was supposed to be music. You got a bad So I'm curious what the game is like with music.
I actually have that soundtrack on vinyl because the music is amazing.
It's really good. It's Akira Yamaoka did the soundtrack, and he uses this like incredible tremolo guitar that's so good. It rocks so hard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I love me some tremolo. Or vibrato.
Legit, you should
modulation.
Just go
or
and listen
chorus,
to the
or flanger.
soundtrack from it.
I would be
so good.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't seem like something I'd be like walking down the street whistling to. Like, I don't know when I would find time to like.
If you listen to one track, listen to Theme of Lisa.
Okay, noted.
That's what it's called. Like,
or I could just play the game.
Or
the game is very good. Yeah, but that being said, I actually kind of think the remake is better.
Okay. Wow, that's high praise. That's very.
That's
high
the
praise.
thing. That's I think if I was gonna recommend one or the other to someone, I would say play the remake because I love the original, and I think historically it's an incredibly important game. We talked about this a little bit in the Shadows episode, but like this is one of the earliest examples of games as art that in that discussion, because like it's a game that has a story that's really, really challenging. And I think the remake does an amazing job of picking up on the challenge of that story. And to me, the way that the remake does it kind of hits even harder than it does in the original. So
nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm excited to play it.
I got to play it.
Yeah.
I'd
love to cover it for the pod.
Well,
I'm down.
There's a lot of games that we'd love. You know what? If this new format kicks off and we can get episodes out quickly and efficiently,
there you go.
We can cover every game ever made. All right, Steve, your number one.
My number one. It's Astrobot.
Hell yeah.
Another game I have to play. God dang it.
Oh my God. I'll tell you what. I I played Astrobot, and I honestly don't think I felt the magic of playing a game like that since like Pikmin when I was like in high school. Like I just had the biggest grin on my face playing that game. That game just screams fun and joy and laughter. And like if you don't like that game, you're just like a blood-sucking demon or something because it's literally impossible to hate that game. It's literally impossible to hate that game. I know it won Game of the Year at like the official like Game Awards or whatever. And there's like some controversy with it. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, this game looks stupid," but like that's the thing. They say it looks stupid. They haven't actually played the game. If you go out and play the game, I promise you will have the best time playing that game because that game just screams fun and charm and joy. If you're a fan of PlayStation and if you grew up playing PlayStation like I did, you're just gonna be smiling the whole time because it's just a love letter to PlayStation in general. You're constantly running. The goal of the game is you're saving old PlayStation characters.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, and it's just like, you're running into like Crash Bandicoot and Kratos and like Nathan Drake from Uncharted and
and then there's like deep cuts too.
Yes, and there's
That's
deep
what I've
cuts
heard. I've heard
too.
there's stuff
like,
that's like
there's just like everything. Like Rob mentioned Silent Hill, like Pyramid.
Yeah,
Head's
Pyramid Head's in it.
Bloodborne's in it. Shadow of Colossus is in it. Like there's literally almost every single game is in it. There were like 2 emissions I noticed. 3. Cloud wasn't in it. Or any
That's
Final
nuts.
Fantasy.
They probably couldn't get the rights.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There was no Twisted Metal. That was another one I noticed.
That's the weird omission. Is Twisted
and
Metal.
there was no Resistance games. Those were the only 3 I noticed that were like.
Don't know Resistance.
But like everything else was just like, oh my god, it's so fun. It's so fun. Like I said, the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack is so good. It's so stupid too, but it's just like it's so catchy. The theme song is just him going, "I am Astrobot." it's just
so
that
good, though.
over and over and over and over again. And then as the songs get like going through its cycle and like going to start up again, you hear a little voice in the background going, "What did you say your name was again?" It's just like it starts up again. I am Astrobot. Da, 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 da. It's like, oh my god, it's so funny. I'm not gonna spoil, but I will. There's like a tiny little thing I have to mention though. It's in the commercials and the trailers and everything, but there is like a God of War themed level in the game. Where you turn into Kratos and you literally get the axe and you're going through and like chopping people's beating up bad guys and everything. It's really fun too because there's like Odin eyes you gotta find too, like just like the game. Like it's really fun. It's just like a level.
Did it make you want to reverse your decision about God of
No,
War?
but you know what it actually made me think? I was like, wow, this one level is way more enjoyable than the entire 80-hour experience of God of War Norse anthology.
Wow.
You monster.
But listen, no, the best part about it is the music in that level. It's like, oh my god, it's so funny. Like, they're like, it's like this like God of War themed like song, and like at one point it starts like ramping up a little bit, and then just before the beat drops, you hear in the background, "Boy," and then the beat just drops. It's so funny. It's so good. Oh my god. It's just like these developers knew exactly what they were doing when they made this game, because they just were like, the source material and everything. They're so faithful to everything. And even like there's Astro's Playroom on the PS5 now, which is free it's like a free tech demo and everything. But they even like take shit from like that and carry it over to like the new game. So if you played Astro's Playroom, because there's essentially what happens is like Astro's Playroom, you're just like running around in the PS5 and like that's that. But like in this game, like this alien guy like comes and like breaks the PS5, so you pretty much have to like rebuild it and everything. But you have to like rebuild like the SSD and like the fan and the GPU and everything. And like they all sing when you get them, and it's just like the
very
cutest
charming.
thing. It's the cutest thing. It's just like, and like the songs they sing are from Astro's Playroom too. So it's just like, oh my god. And then like the the last level is just like really fun too. Like it's just such a love letter to PlayStation.
Wow.
I cannot recommend this game enough. If we ever covered it, would 1,000% be a GOAT. It's awesome. It's a great game.
Hell yeah, man. I love seeing you so passionate about
yes,
things.
and I platinumed it, and I would do it again if I could, because it was just that much fun. And the other thing is, like, they're casually, like, still updating the game with free DLC and, like, free levels, which is really cool. Yeah, it's
That's
really
awesome.
cool. It's a $60 game. I've seen it go on sale for $45. But, like, they're still, like, updating it. They just released, like, a whole Christmas level with, like, 12 new characters to unlock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yowza.
just, like, it's really fun. And, like I said, they won the Game of the Year
Yeah.
award. And, like, I remember, like, the developers came out and they said, like,
They were
you know,
stunned.
they were thanking everyone. And then they got to, like, you know, we weren't supposed to say this, but, you know, there was, like, you know, back in the 80s, we played, you know, little red man jumping around on, like, a little gray box and everything. And, you know, like, without those guys, you know, we wouldn't be able to make this game, because this game just does feel like a Nintendo game. It just straight up feels like a Nintendo game. The best way I could describe it is if Mario Galaxy, or if Smash Bros. Played like Mario Galaxy, but it's PlayStation. Like, that's the best way to describe that game, because it's just like you're just going through, like, all this, like, source material from, like, other worlds and other games. And
Okay,
everything.
now I track. Okay.
But the
Got it.
game just plays like Mario Galaxy. It literally just feels like Mario Galaxy 3. It's such a good time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that rocks.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I do really want to
gotta
play
play it.
that one. It looks good.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's
play it.
it's an absolute must play if you own a PS5.
I don't. That's the issue.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Zach, you are last. Who is your number one?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with EA Sports presents College Football 2025.
Really?
No, I'm fucking with you. It's Astrobot. I was about to make you think I was going on a 5-minute rant about sports, and there was nothing you could do about it.
Politely nod because I'm a good podcasting.
No, it's
co-host,
Astrobot. I figured Steve and I were both going to land on Astrobot. It's just, you know, not to harp on it again, but it's just play it. You know, as everything I was going to say, Steve would say. You know, the only thing I could add is that this is a great game to play with, like a spouse. It's very easy for them to pick up and play. And it's charming. My fiance, she adored the game. There's been a handful of games where she is like, I want to get home and play. And this is like one, like Stardew Valley being like the other. But like she was obsessed with it, and I thought it was super adorable. And she's not even like, she didn't grow up playing video games. She doesn't know what PlayStation characters are which. She just thought the game was charming.
How hard is it?
It's cute. You
It's
don't even
not.
need to know PlayStation.
Yeah, it's not hard at all.
It's really,
And it's very forgiving.
yeah. It's, and I wouldn't say like it's too easy either, because it's like,
No, it has
you don't
like the
even
first,
care. You don't
like the
even
first
care. You're just
world,
having
you're gonna
so
be
much fun.
like the first world, legitimately, you'll be like, oh no, this is a baby game, but it progressively gets harder and harder. But it's not like, you know, you're not
not
playing Dark
rage-inducing
Souls
at all
2,
either.
but
Yeah.
you know, it's a decent challenge by the end.
Yeah, and there's some levels where you die a lot too, but
Yeah, but you're supposed to. Like
Yeah,
some of the bonus levels where like it's like you have one shot to get to the end, and if you die, you have to start all the way at the beginning. But they're like the challenge levels from Super Mario Sunshine.
Or the star levels from the original Super Mario World. It's a like, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just like challenge levels. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, but they legit play almost like if you played Super Mario Sunshine, like some of the 3D things where you had to run across like a
Yeah.
space that's constantly evolving. Like
Oh,
a lot
those
of the
levels
bonus
rock.
levels are like that, like 1-to-1. Like you're just you're in a full 3-dimensional space suspended up in the air, and you have to keep moving or you die.
and like the platforming is so crisp. It's
Very
so
tight.
Crisp.
It's like
so,
Nintendo tight.
It
and
feels so good.
and it did the one thing I hoped it would do, like platform or mascot platformers are going to be huge in 2025. Like they're coming back with a vengeance.
And then the other thing is like, you know, I saw PlayStation because like there was some criticism I saw like this Astrobot isn't a love letter to PlayStation. It's a fucking graveyard because like a lot of these series aren't being used anymore. But I actually saw PlayStation just came out and said, hey, we hear you guys. You know, we're going to start reviving some of these like dead series, which is like awesome. And like, you know, I can't help but think that some of it has to be because of Astrobot.
Right. I mean, after whatever, I forget what Naughty Dog's new game is. I wasn't really interested in it, but like you would have to think that at some point they're going to be like, okay, do Jak and Daxter again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Bloodborne.
Well, I mean, did you hear the fun news on the Bloodborne 2 front?
I heard that people are optimistic for some reason, but I can't remember why.
Sony now has controlling interest in From Software's parent company.
I did hear that, yes. But this is going to get very in the weeds very quick, but I feel like the reason they wouldn't make it is because FromSoft was holding out on Sony. I feel like if Sony was like, yep, go ahead, they would do it. So I'm not sure how much hope that really gives me, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. I would love a Bloodborne 2 or a Bloodborne, or I would settle for a remake.
I think we're going to get both within the next 10 years.
Within the next 10 years, you cut out a little bit. It's not like both within the next 10 years.
Yeah, we'll get a remake from Blue Point, and we'll get a proper sequel from FromSoft.
I don't want to be in my 40s. I want it now. I love it then too. I'll still play it. Like
here's what you need to do. There's a costume in Astrobot that makes you look like Bloodborne guy. So just put that on.
The hunter costume.
Just pretend
the tricorn hat outfit.
Bloodborne, and I promise it'll be even better.
That'll scratch the itch for sure.
And it'll be even better than God of War, too.
There's also
what joy feels like.
Yeah, there's also several spooky levels, so you can be immersed.
That's true. Yeah, there's some spooky levels. You put the Bloodborne costume on, boom, Bloodborne 2.
Same thing.
And a fun God of War. You get 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys. Let's talk about, this will be pretty quick. We're going to go through pick our favorite episode that was released of GOAT Games this year. There's so many to choose from. It's hard to pick one. No. And we'll talk about our favorite ones and do that. I guess we'll go in the same order. I will go first. I'm looking at our list from 2024. It's hard. It's really hard. I will do. I'm going to say it's a tough choice between. Like, I mean, they're all so great. They're all my children, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to say the Baldur's Gate. If I have to pick one, I guess episode 1, but the Baldur's Gate double episode, namely because Baldur's Gate 3 was an incredible game. Obviously, like it's still being talked about. It's thrown down the gauntlet for RPG games. And also that game had, we had the crew of me, Q, and Rob from the crew, the core crew. And then we also had a little bit of nepotism. My wife joined briefly, and so did Quentin's wife, Rachel. And it's a game that I love. It's a game that's been present through so many of my friend groups, and it's just doing that episode and hearing our experiences, because each playthrough can be so wildly different. So hearing the variety of playthroughs between my Q's and Rob's and our spouses, and it was just a fun time.
Yeah.
So I'll say that as my favorite episode / no, you know what? I'm going to commit, because you guys always give me shit for not being able to pick one. So I will say Baldur's Gate 3 episode 1 is my favorite GOAT Games episode that was released in the year of our Lord 2024.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I remember how how tired I felt by the time we got to the end of it, because it was like such a Herculean task just recording that episode, but also how excited I was about the game after we all talked about it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great thing about even just that episode is, getting to talk about it with y'all made me like re-excited about the game again.
Have you replayed it, Rob?
I started a playthrough and life got busy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's a huge game. It's very reasonable for you to not have replayed it yet. Okay, that's mine. Quentin is next alphabetically.
Whew. Thank you for picking Baldur's Gate, because I did not want to harp on BG3 again, because it was already my number one pick for best game of the year. So I think my favorite episode was Pikmin. I had a lot of fun recording it. I liked listening to it, but also it was just that brief moment in my life of my Pikmin adventures. Everything from playing it to recording it to editing it was just the most magical childlike journey. And I will always look back on that little small blip very fondly. Pikmin was just wonderful. It was great. And I love the episode.
Yeah, and you did a great job editing. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to pick an episode that I edited.
Yeah,
that's
I picked up on that. Yes,
give me a list of which ones you edited, because I want to pick one too.
All right, Rob, your favorite episode from this year?
Okay, I'm a little conflicted on this one because y'all are all my friends, and I love having all of you on the episodes that we do. But we had one episode this year where we invited a very good friend of mine to be a guest. Gorpo came on for the Animal Well episode. He's just a good friend of mine. I think he's incredibly funny. It was so much fun to have him on.
Yeah.
And I just think that episode is a blast. I think all of our episodes are a blast. Every time that we record, afterwards, I'm just like, man, that was the best time hanging out with all of y'all and talking about games. But there's something special about getting to bring your friend in, and I just thought he was really fun to have. So
he was a great guest. Yep. He can replace me as the head host anytime. Just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, that was a great episode. And Gorpo, in all seriousness, Gorpo was great. Love to have him back. All of our guests we've had have been great, and we'd love to have him back, time permitting. Which
we have cool friends.
It's true.
Yeah,
people like us. Wow.
A couple people do. Yeah.
Not me, but you.
Yeah. All right, Steve. What was your favorite episode from Goat Games this year?
So on a similar note, we also had my buddy Dan come in for an episode. Yes. But I hate him, so I'm not going to pick that one. Just kidding. I love you, Dan. But no, I'm not going to pick that episode. I did love that episode, the Spiral one. But I am going to pick... I'm going to pick Shadow of Colossus, because I like when things get spicy. That's what I like. When they start getting spicy and the debates start happening and everything. I just think that was a really clean episode. I love the part with Rob not finding the stairs.
Yes.
I think that was iconic. But it was just such a fun episode listening to Rob and Figgy go at it like the first 75% of the episode, and then it was like me versus Figgy, and it was it was just, I don't know, it was just like a fun, spicy episode to listen to. So that was probably my favorite one this year.
Yeah, that was a contender for my favorite. It was a really good, it's
a good listen. I love the debatey ones where it's
exactly. It felt very, I don't know, erudite or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I feel like the banjo one is really great for similar reasons. Figgy just coming after me is really funny.
Yeah. Okay. And Zach, favorite episode this year?
Man, it was really hard to pick because I have two. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Portal.
Portal. Oh, yeah.
First episode of 2024. I just, that was just a fun session to record. I think It's probably one of our most like upbeat episodes. I don't think we said a bad thing about the game. We were just hanging out.
Steve weren't there to shit on it.
I know. Yeah, me and Rob were on it. We were ready to dump all over it.
Yeah, it was just a love fest. Like there was no controversy. It was all just like this game.
It was just like, oh, so this is what world peace is like.
I couldn't believe when I listened to that it was like it was that upbeat. I was like, what
the fuck is wrong with these guys?
I get it, but I was just like, oh my God, it would have been so different if I was on that.
Yeah, maybe that's a chance for some self-reflection, Steve.
Right?
Oh, when I'm not there, it's so peaceful and happy.
Yeah, Steve,
I'm just waiting for the day
you need
when
a little chaos. You need a little
Yeah,
chaos.
no,
in
it's
your
entertaining, but
I'm just waiting for the day whenever we get to a game where I'm the one that has to defend it and everybody else hates it, because I feel like I'm the odd man out.
well, yeah, you're generally like I feel like you're very good at like finding the positives in game. I don't know. You seem the least like you seem the most. I think you're just the most laid back.
Oh no, I'm dropping subtle hints about the game you need to cover.
Oh, well, which one do you think that you would love and the rest
Breath of the
us would
Wild.
hate?
That'd be the one where I'm just where it's.
Oh,
where like
yeah.
I'm the one that's gonna go. Everyone else is gonna love it, and I'm gonna call you all wrong.
I forgot about Breath of the Wild.
No, I mean, I'm on.
Yeah,
I'm
as
kind
you
of on your
should,
side
because
on
it's
that
a
one,
terrible
Zach.
game.
Honestly,
Breath of the Mild, baby.
Yeah, I know you said that before. Yeah, we should cover it because it was such an iconic game. What I'm afraid of is that, honestly, if I replay that game, that Zach may not be as alone as I think he would be.
Yeah.
That game exists so positively in my memory, but when I talked about this on the podcast like last year, but when I started playing Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, I don't know if I actually like this. I don't know,
that game is just. I think that game is like a game that was just like encapsulated in time as just like, yes, it was fun when it came out, and it was a good experience. But I don't think I would actually like want to go replay that and like do it all over. I
feel
again.
like,
and that's kind of what I felt with Tears of the Kingdom a bit.
I feel like it came out on kind of like following up on what you're saying. I feel like it came out on kind of the tail end of people just starting to feel really burnt out on open worlds. So it was like, it was this game that kind of got to build on all of these open world games that had come before it. People were still excited about open world games. And now I think there's a lot more like the formula feels a lot more tired for a lot of people.
And I think that since it's come out, there have been multiple examples of an open world that doesn't feel barren and empty and feels lived in. And then when you go back to revisit it, it's not as good as you remember. But like, I understand what they were trying to do, and I respect it. Like, it was the original vision of what they wanted to do with The Legend of Zelda. But I still think that if that game was not called The Legend of Zelda, nobody would ever have talked about it.
I mean, that kind of happened. There was that Ubisoft one, Phoenix something, right?
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure that one's probably not as good because it's freaking Ubisoft, but
yeah.
But like, that's what would have happened. It would have just been like, oh, Nintendo tried something new, and we would have moved on. Like,
yeah.
But it never clicked for me, and I've legitimately probably have like 45 hours in it. Like, I tried.
Wow, that's a fair try. That's a
It's a gentleman's try.
Right.
Yeah,
like I put in work. Like, I was like, no, like, it's going to get better. No, it's going to get better. And it turns out that all I needed to do was mod it so that at least one weapon wouldn't break. And all of a sudden the game's super fun.
I forgot the weapons break. God, No,
like, oh my God.
No, it has to be good. My memory of it can't be that flawed. It has to be good. We should just do that. God.
we should put it on our list.
We've been talking about it for so long. It's like in the periphery. Like
if the rumors are
background.
true, though, I'd rather just wait till the Switch 2 comes out so I can at least play it at a stable frame rate.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I played it on Wii U, believe it or not. It was,
Really?
Yeah.
You're one of 5 people.
Yeah, it was like my swan song for the Wii U. It was like at least you did.
Damn.
At least you let me do this because you've otherwise been useless. like literally just taking
I
it.
wonder,
poor
like,
Wii U.
I genuinely wonder, like, which one runs better.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know, but it was pretty cool the way they integrated the
tablet?
tablet part, because you look down, your map would be there. It's pretty cool, but
I could not picture playing that game only on the TV because I played so much of it handheld.
yeah, I mean that's what happens once you get a handheld. You're like, how did I ever do any other kind of gaming? So. All right. Well, that is it for this episode, I think, right? Was there any other? I think that's it, right? There's no other things that we were going to do. Those were the 3 main things. Okay. Well, dear baby listener, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. If you enjoyed our show, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Comment in the YouTube section if you're seeing this on YouTube. Like
subscribe
the
and
video
give it
if
a
it's on
like.
YouTube. Subscribe if it's on YouTube. If you didn't like it, leave a review or a nice comment and lie. It's for a good cause.
We
We are trying to game the algorithm.
We take nice comments
Yes.
as a criticism. So if you want to criticize us, you have to leave a nice comment.
Okay, but it also
But we
take nice
also
comments as
take
nice
nice
comments
comments
too.
as-
Because you're just Rob, that didn't make sense. Ignore
I understood what he was going for, the little reverse psychology.
Except
I respect the hustle.
because then they will leave bad comments.
Yeah, we don't want that.
My speech makes them leave a good comment either way. So, if you hate us, leave comments there too. Because the thing is that if you put bad comments, we still win because the algorithm only cares about engagement. You idiots! Just kidding. I love you. I shouldn't have called you idiot. I was angry. I said some things in the moment I didn't mean. Anyway, so that is it for this episode. Sonic. Ooh, yes. Next episode will be coming. Should be Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh,
Which they're
wait.
now when they hold up things to distract me, you can see it.
So hold up. So you guys are playing. Are we doing Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle?
both.
Whichever one you
Who's
have
playing
access to. I wanted to do battle, but my copy doesn't really work anymore, unfortunately. It crashes every time I go to the Chow Garden. So I had to play the
Okay.
version on the Xbox. But
Oh man, is anybody playing it on Dreamcast?
I don't have a
Dreamcast anymore.
Am I the only one that has a Dreamcast?
I have a Dreamcast, but I only have Sonic Adventure 1 on the Dreamcast.
Guys, no, I can't cut this shit out anymore. No, dear, until next time. Jeez. Oh man, guys, we're doing I think you guys are going to be shocked, appalled, aghast when you realize if this new format of us doing less editing and more like live, I think you're going to be blown away at how much work I have to do to make us sound witty and snappy and like we aren't a bunch of like
Not me. I'm
John.
always on my A game.
Hell yeah, Steve.
Just how much of our time is spent just people going,
No, I don't believe that.
Deep down, Figgy is so excited for us to realize how fucking sloppy we are. Like,
maybe
nasty
finally someone will start
pigs.
getting a little appreciation around
You
here.
know what the best part is? I'm editing it and I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to be like, man, that was easy breezy.
Man, that was the
Well, no.
easiest shit we ever did. Meanwhile, we're
No.
outsourcing it on Fiverr for like $10.
Well, Rob, unless you have like incredible AI, like fake frame making, what's going to happen is like all the awkward pauses are going to be like took out, so we're going to be like all juddery and we're all going to be like
Oh, no,
jumping
dude.
from like frame to frame, cutting out all the
Hey, don't
awkwardness.
put it past Rob.
Hey, Rob, my video card will fix all that, so we'll meet on the side.
Yeah, we're all going to look like ultra smoothed out, like pixelated, like like
You're gonna look like a
monstrosities.
Ken doll.
Yeah. More of a Ken doll than already. We're all Ken dolls in our own special way.
That's the truth.
Are you doing a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, sorry.
Man, can you solve those?
It sounded like it.
Man, I can do one side, and that holy shit.
I've got them all over
What
my
the
desk.
fuck?
They're
Goddamn,
like
dude.
all over my house.
I can do
Yeah.
one side, and I've never gotten past that.
I can't
This-
even do that.
This is the first one I splurged on, like a professional speed
Ooh.
cube. So like specially ordered from Japan. And it's got like you pop this one out and it has a wrench where you can adjust the tension inside of them
Oh,
and
shit.
comes with like special oil and it's just like super
That's
super
fascinating.
smooth.
That's
Damn.
really cool.
So
Holy
nice.
shit, dude. I didn't know we had JDM fucking Rubik's cubes, bro.
Dude, they're great. They're once you play with the pro ones, you'll never touch like the official Rubik's
Your
Cube
hands
brand,
will
'cause
you're
they're-
like,
Okay,
nah, get that shit.
But
dog.
with the Pro one, how am I supposed to pull all the stickers off and put them on the other
Figgy
side?
says he's been ready.
Well, that's I got this one doesn't have stickers on it, which is the main reason I wanted to buy it because my daughter kept gnawing them off of these ones and peeling the stickers away. Yeah.
My God.